Hello and welcome to the Mad Wait IT Podcast.
Hey everybody.
My name's
Hello.
Jason. I'm joined today with Jack.
Hello.
Andrew.
Hello.
And Laird.
Hello.
And what's been happening? The Queen's dead.
Yes!
Jeez,
It's
man.
quite
Right
unfortunate.
To mixed opinions.
Right away,
Yeah.
by the way, right away. Queen is dead. To be honest, I think everyone was expecting about them. Like,
I mean, I think
Obviously.
everyone knew like the
I
past
thought
year.
maybe like she might live a wee bit longer, but I was like,
Nah, she had a few scares. And
I
you kind of
said,
thought, well,
I said to you on the chat as
coming.
well, I was like, oh,
It's coming.
she's dead today, mate. And you were like, nah, she might last till Christmas or something. I was like, nah, she's dead today,
what I
mate.
found so funny was
She's-
that the royal correspondent the night before on the news, like 10 o'clock news on BBC, was like they were saying, oh, Liz Truss went to visit the Queen in Balmoral. How's the Queen doing? It's like, oh, she's absolutely fine. She's just there for our usual holiday up in Balmoral.
Aye.
She just didn't want to come down just to be comfortable. It's like, she's still got ages, and literally like less than 24 hours later, dead.
You know how she was suffering with like health problems and that? Did anyone actually reveal what those health problems were? Do you think?
old age, wasn't it?
I think it actually was old age.
Aye, it's
I
not.
suppose, but like,
I think
because she was fucking 96.
I'm not gonna lie.
I
though,
don't
Probably
like,
know.
still grief.
no, I want to know.
For
Right,
sure,
like,
there's an
Missing
alibi.
our cousin.
she's 96, right? She's not thinking about that. I think how old that is, right? Because normally people who are above like 75 to 80, they start losing the brain.
Aye,
But she was fine.
she was still aye.
She
Aye,
was still there.
sharp as a
It's
tack.
weird, mate, how she was just completely like healthy.
Lizards, eh?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? She definitely gets some sort of like treatment that other people don't get.
what-
Aye,
obviously.
obviously.
She's
She's
not
not
on
on
the
the NHS, that's
Aye,
for sure. Anyway,
what I think is like obviously she's just lived. Obviously, she's heavy minted and that, and she's probably just been healthy, like hasn't eaten healthy and all that, and done exercise. Obviously, not old age.
I want to know what her like
Yeah.
daily fucking intake is of food. Like, what does she eat?
She
I did-
drinks like a fucking fish, man. Like she actually, I was hearing on like the radio this morning that she drinks a glass of wine and a gin and tonic at lunch or something
Fucking
like
hell.
that. And then at night, it's a glass. Every night, without fail, she drinks a glass of champagne.
I mean, no, there was
And a Stella.
She one of the old.
She
She one of the oldest women to ever live. I think she was what, like 110 or
One of the
20.
Japanese women.
No. It was I think it was actually a French woman. I think it was,
Oh,
she was French.
aye, okay.
What she would have is like she would have like wine, fish, like obviously like
Wine and fish, man.
it was mainly wine, fish, and obviously like she had like vegetables and all that, and then the usual shit.
Yeah.
And then she would
She
exercise.
was a vegetable.
Yeah, well, she actually was fine when she was 120 odd, but I know. So
Anyone
there
can be
is.
fine
Nah,
when they're 120.
No one's fine. They're still probably fucking.
Like you're like
can't breathe, man.
a decent
can't
wind
move.
away from like crumbling and turning to dust at 120.
I know. I think so, but I think there's a correlation between drinking wine and longevity.
I need to get into wine.
I've never drank a full glass of wine
Don't
in my
make it'll
life.
cause arguments.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like
Yeah,
I've,
that was
I've drank like, I don't know, probably like 10 milliliters of wine. Because my mum went to a restaurant and she was like, "Can I get a
I
glass of wine?"
feel like it's one of these things that I've had like champagne and stuff.
Aye.
See if it's like an occasion and like there's like, oh, do you want a wee glass of champagne? Oh, tastes like pish, but ooh, okay.
Aye.
Aye.
I don't like wine.
Now that I
Wine
think about
shite.
it, I don't even
It's
think I'd
called-
class fucking champagne and like prosecco as wine. Like I don't know, man. Like I feel like
It's,
I've
it's,
had
it's
that.
white wine.
It's a white
It
wine.
is white wine, but right, okay. Let's say for the sake of red wine, I've had like 10 milliliters.
I've not had
of
red.
that.
I've not had
Aye.
like red wine either, like proper red wine. Like I bought white wine because I thought, oh, it might taste
And
alright.
on next podcast, we'll just get like a big bottle of red wine.
Like,
between us.
Just still like a Randy for South Park. Just got a big wine.
we'll just get a wee cheese board as well. It'll
Aye.
just be a really classy podcast.
Really posh.
That's what Max and Leo do all the time.
The posh
I admit,
cast.
it's cheese board's class.
Aye.
I just never get into wine.
Ah, yeah.
Love a wee cheese board, some crackers,
Crackers, cheese, and a
Aye,
bit of ham.
cheese.
wee,
Remember in
wee
school?
grapes as well.
The what?
Remember in school with the
Lunchables.
Lunch
no.
bowls?
In
Lunchables, primary
school,
cheese
in the
board.
canteen, you could get like a block of cheese, and you
Oh,
just
aye, yeah.
put it on top of the cracker.
You
And
get-
then just,
yeah, it was like a wee block of cheese, like
Oh, okay.
about the same
Remember-
size as like an American stick of butter,
Uh-huh.
but cheese, and then like you would get like a wee packet of
Oh, it was
crackers.
so good.
But like nothing to like break up the cheese, which is like a solid block of cheese.
You just eat the block of cheese like you're eating like a sandwich. Man.
Yeah.
It's like,
But then it's
I
like a
still-
cheese string.
See,
that's
I
not
never
stringy.
in school. I never had like the lunches. I always had my own packed lunch. You know.
I always did, but I never had a hot dinner lunch.
I
and-
said
I
I
think-
never got something on like one of like the
I think
actual
for
China
I think
plates.
for 1 year only, I had like the school lunches, and then I was like to my right. I don't want that shit because it was actually like I still remember it. I think we also had fish and chips on the Friday, and then they'd have like a pudding thing, and then they had like other days it'd be like chicken curry with like a jello, like jelly.
Aye.
Mm.
Pizza.
Aye.
I used
The
to love
big
primary
slice of
school
pizza.
lunches, man. primary school lunches.
So unhealthy, mate. So
It actually is, isn't it?
No,
It's-
no,
bad,
because
mate.
that was like mid.
It's better now, I
Jamie
think,
Ol-
but
no,
back-
it was
yeah,
mid
It's
Jamie
a lot
Oliver
better
era.
now.
I know, it was before like all that shit, I think. Cause, like,
It wasn't just like pure burgers every day.
no, but it was like pizza. You had fucking
Oh
fish
fuck!
and
I
I
chips.
used
just
to get
remembered
pizza
this
now.
with
It was
burgers.
like it was
What?
your
Remember
fried
in
or sugar.
primary school the burgers?
They didn't really have any like.
Not really.
There was nothing
Really?
really
No.
healthy. What was there?
Aye,
I'm
there
not-
was,
never
there was
had,
like
like-
curries and stuff. Like,
Chicken curry.
I'm not
I mean,
really-
there's
healthiest
no
thing,
meal
probably.
that you can kind of go like, oh, it's 100% healthy.
I know, but there's like
Like, we school kids aren't gonna go, oh, class, there's a salad.
I know. No,
Aye,
obviously
true.
not.
I'll
but,
get
like,
that for
I'm talking
lunch
like
today.
there's no like there was just no. It was just like pizza and that and fucking. You know what I mean, like it's just.
I wouldn't know, but that was like your Friday, you get your fish and chips.
I still like a pizza, but I can still admit that it's still unhealthy when I eat it.
Jesus Christ, the alcoholic's almost done, man.
Aye, what happened there?
We poured that glass like just before the recording this.
I'm not
and
even
it's like
taking a
almost
sip
half
yet.
necked.
Sorry.
Mate, this is pre-drinks for Lord. This is him just getting started.
I've already
Mate,
drank
really
before I
is.
came here, so
started
I'm
pre-drinks
already
3
like.
days ago, mate. What are you talking about?
Let's just
Feels-
drink until like nurse's hangover right now.
Aye.
God.
No, I didn't drink yesterday.
I know.
Oh,
Sorry.
did you not?
I just we were in a
Fresh as
Discord
a
call
goose.
last night, and I don't know. I've just never really kind of drinking in a Discord call
So it's shit.
Oh, I
we did
hate
it,
it,
we did
man,
it
it's
COVID,
terrible.
didn't we? COVID.
Like,
because like you always disappear
Aye, I fuck off.
mysteriously,
I just
So-
go to my bed and fucking pass out, man. Every
and
time.
then like it'll be like
Everything.
you and like it'll be maybe like me and you sitting playing like Rocket League, and it's like I couldn't do that pissed. Because if you leave, then I'm just sitting by myself, waiting mysteriously for you to come back, just drinking, looking at a PC monitor. It's like, oh.
I don't even make an appearance
That is
because I
true.
already know what happens. And plus, I cannot be arsed being
To be fair, we're
steaming in my own gaff with
we were playing
nobody.
games last night until there was an argument broke out, which is quite funny.
Yeah, I heard about the argument.
Oh, you should have just joined the call for a second. Just to
Oh
listen
man,
to
I was fast asleep. I went to bed at like 8
It
o'clock
was
at
honestly
night, man.
it was over nothing, but it was red wine fueled, and it would just like it just get louder and louder, and I was just kind of sitting in the background like,
I know.
class.
Yeah, that's what always happens.
I maintained the same tone the whole way through, and it was like, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
Yeah, an
Was what-
interesting thing that you can do is just mute the mic and listen.
No,
I
no,
left.
You left.
Well, it was building up.
Well, yeah, because Laird left just as it started,
I knew it was going to start, but
and then Jade joined the call, and then messaged Laird to say join this call.
it was like join Leo's fuming, and I was like, okay. I joined the first like, yeah, fucking going
even,
mental, man.
even though he was
So
like,
loud.
even though he was really angry, like I still think we got. I still thought it was an interesting conversation.
I was just trying to do nightclub missions on GTA.
Aye. No, I know that. Like, you know, but even like, I just like listening to people. So Jack and Leo are both.
Aye,
Like,
but they were
talking.
both half cut and shouting.
Jack Barber, he was fucking steaming last
Aye,
night.
it was.
Hey.
He was gone, mate. He was like gone, mate. Like,
Absolutely steaming.
but no, I even then, even though it was up here, it seemed like chaos. I still just like
But yeah, no, I
took away from it. I
I
was
just
like,
think
aye,
though, like drinking on Discord, it's not the one.
I
No,
know.
it's not.
Because I think it's the kind of thing that's like, yeah, if I'm going out, I'll drink.
Aye, it's a
but-
lot better in person than it is on Discord.
The only reason it really started was COVID.
COVID, aye.
Because we
Well,
didn't have an
that's it,
option.
yeah.
So it was
Aye, I
like,
know.
Exactly.
I know. I thought it was heavy depressing drinking in COVID, man. Like,
it was good at the start. Like, see when we play music and we'd all have our webcams
Oh,
on.
man.
And then Discord bots just decided time to get fucking copyright.
I suppose it was alright at
Yeah.
the start, but see, right at the very end of the night,
Aye,
when
the end of the
everyone
night
leaves
is
the
pretty
call,
depressing.
and you're just sitting there, and you're not in the call anymore. You're just sitting there, and you're just nobody's around you.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there steaming. You're like, what do I do now?
I remember.
Apart from going to bed.
I remember. That's my worst
It basically
moment.
is. I mean, I cut it off early last night. I was like, right, I'm just gonna call it here and watch Hobbit.
Yeah.
I remember like this is what I used to do, man. This is so bad, but I used to get like it just be like you know the wee bottles of water, man, and just fill them with like a bunch of vodka and have put orange juice in it, and that's what I just used to drink all the time. Like when we were on
Fucking hell.
Discord, like I was when I was really bad. I was when I'd literally drink and I knew I was going to spew, so I had my bin like literally sat next to me just as a precaution because I knew. it
I
was
don't think
gonna
I've
happen.
ever drank with the intention of getting that.
Oh, no, I
fucked up.
always done that. Like, what? Yeah, this was obviously
every
years
time.
ago, mate. That was me all the time, mate. I drank
Yeah.
until I died.
I don't think I've ever
That's
spewed
what
in
I
a
do,
bin.
man.
It was bad at the time. No, I don't know.
I think I've always made it to a toilet. if I'm
Same,
gonna
aye.
spew.
no,
Or,
never.
or the wall in some unknown area.
Like I think unless it's like an illness spew, then sometimes I've
I
just
always
like
not. I
fucking.
always make it to the
I
toilet.
projectile vomited once in school,
yeah.
like in the morning. It was one of those where I was
all over the
said,
table.
no, even worse.
Mm.
I said to her, I was like, you get up in the morning, it's like, oh, I don't feel well.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, fuck up. Get to school. You're just trying to get out of something.
Really,
Probably.
like, you've told
I
us
hate
this.
feels
before.
Yeah, I think I said it on the
You're
last
lying, you're lying.
podcast that's now non-existent.
Aye.
But
Yeah, aye.
and I got up. You're like, oh, I feel like shit. And I was like, I know, you're talking pish.
Actually,
Get into school. Get into school just before it starts, like walking up to registration, the bell goes. And which was quite good for me because usually
that was so
I was
grim.
late.
Seen primary school, you had to walk up to the office, heavy ill.
But the thing was they always questioned you.
Oh, they did,
always
didn't
like had to fucking
Bastards.
interrogate you to be like, well, how are you ill? What's so wrong that you can't go back to class, sort of thing.
Which made you even worse.
No, but I loved it when you looked so like they could just tell you were ill. Like you have to look like a fucking like white demon,
Zombie.
mate, and you're just like, I'm not feeling too well, and it's like, all right, we'll get your mum and dad.
They must like get a whole load of like people though that are just like faking it.
I feel like in our school though, when we said we were ill, we'd go to the office and then they just call our mum. Like I feel like we didn't get
No,
questioned. really.
primary.
Aye.
I think primary was just a case of like.
Depends who you
In
got.
primary it was kind of
Oh.
sound, but like secondary they pure like fucking interrogate
Depends
you.
who you got, but sometimes you get like a pure sound like.
I done that to
done
play
that.
GTA 5 when it came out.
Yeah,
I did actually.
mate,
I'm not
I've
even
got-
kidding. I went out of class, said I was
Yeah.
ill, and I met Taylor Clifford, and it was his first day in school, and Miss McCartney was with him.
I got a pure memory of CGT 5 when it
Oh,
came
yeah,
I
out.
went home
forgot
to play
he wasn't-
GTA.
he
Me and my
didn't
mum-
start in,
Me and my mum went to
thing.
the Oak Mall, mate, to queue outside and that. Like, I actually still remember this. Like, we queued outside game, mate, in Oak Mall. And my mum was with me.
Forgot I was off.
And I remember just a bunch of kids waiting like to get the game that. And this
I
guy was
mean-
like,
I
he's
mean
not a bit
doing it
too old
actually-
for that game. Or if I did it young.
It was I mean going on Boxing Day. So it was when everyone got like the PS4 when Lizard Squad fucking hit the Sony
yeah,
server.
depressing, man.
Everyone made their fucking Sony accounts and Lizard Squad hit like on Christmas Day and it was like
They
oh,
created
fuck.
so
forgot
much
that
sadness,
existed,
man.
That was.
But I remember going
so
I remember
annoying.
going to game in the Oak Mall and like you're like going to buy like all your games with your Christmas money and going to
Aye.
like class, right, let's get GTA and stuff. And the queue out the door, I was like, I've never seen game this fucking busy.
It doesn't happen anymore, really, does it? No,
Nah.
you
Game
don't.
doesn't even exist anymore in Oak
Oh,
Mall.
no, it does.
But no, it's in Sports
It's in
Direct.
fucking Sports Direct. I know.
It's
Out of
owned
all
by
the
Mike
places,
Ashley. It's owned by Mike Ashley, the guy that owns
Aye.
Sports Direct, and he's
Aye.
just decided, fuck it, I'll put it in Sports Direct.
it's actual.
It's tragic.
It's like a tenth of the size of the actual Sports Direct as well. There's just a wee tiny
Ah, it's
game
just a wee
inside.
corner.
of it.
People nowadays won't get that same experience of like waiting outside a game shop for
Game-
something
that
to
was
get released.
fucking
Game was
amazing.
always the best
Just
place. See when you
game.
get dragged
Man.
to like Brayhead or like a shopping centre,
Aye.
and you knew your mum would be looking at clothes for like 2 hours, or you'd just be getting dragged about. So you like ram off the game,
Yeah.
and you would just look at games for like an hour. You would
I
just
know.
walk about, just like
I would spend my whole time in game.
I'm
just
not gonna buy in
on about
here.
them.
You're just
I'm just
looking
gonna
at
look at the
everything.
back of a cover to
I
kill
remember
time.
just being in Brayhead game and just kind of going up to like the Razer keyboard, and you know how it had like the wee window where like the arrow keys where I'd just sit and tap them and be like, oh, mechanical keys. I wonder if I'll ever
Sometimes
have
like
these.
you know how a
And
game would have like the wee
that
like
eventually
you just
happened.
have the controllers to play a game. Like you remember
Oh,
this?
I
like,
I
would
never-
have like a
I never
PS4
touched
set
them,
up
man.
with them.
Oh no, they'd be heavy
They were
crusty, man.
crusties in.
mate, people were playing like FIFA
Like
and that on
Cheetos
them.
and stuff like
I
that.
probably had all sorts of aids on it, but it was still fun. But
Surprised that was
sometimes-
allowed, man.
Aye,
Probably fucking
aye.
wee Wayne's licking it, man.
Aye, because they probably didn't clean them. Let's be honest, they're making minimum wage here. You know?
Aye. No, speaking of illness, but I'll go back to my story. So, right, so I basically get into school just before registration. Bell goes, so I'm walking up to registration, and I just suddenly get the fucking urge. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking spew. The toilet is like too far away.
Aye.
It's like it's the one of these that just like fucking hits you, and it's like, oh, it's fucking coming.
Aye.
Fuck, it's coming. So, like I was walking along the corner, there's people coming like either side and shit. And I put my hand to fucking like try and catch it, and like,
Oh no.
and it's kind of like the equivalent of if you see like your the end of a hose, right?
I know exactly.
And
what
you
you're
get the
talking
wee you get the wee stopper,
Max.
and you
That's
twist
exactly-
it so that it goes in to stop the thingy of water, and it just sprays out
you-
like a nice spray.
Like when you wake up in the morning.
Except this was with spew in my mouth and my fist.
Have you seen that video?
So I
Max?
spewed it into my fist, and it was like fucking
Oh yeah, no,
like
he
a shotgun shell.
It's the same.
Max,
man.
the
So it
exact
was
same thing.
all over me,
Mm.
and then all over like some random passerbys, and I was just so embarrassed. I was
That's
like,
unlucky.
"Fuck!"
You know,
Just walked to the office.
All over some random passerbys. That's not.
I know, like
best
school
thing.
people. So I was just like, ah, fuck, I
Yeah.
feel so bad, but at the same time, I couldn't give a shit.
you know, Max, like he done that. Like he had a can of whatever it was. That's
Well, no, it started off with he was
In a cup.
drinking, and then he tanned a bunch of random. It was like he filled up a bunch of
Wine
random
and-
alcohol,
Oh.
tanned it.
terrible thing,
I
man.
did not spew into. The
I've got the
cup.
whole video footage, and he
yeah,
fucking
I've
seen
spews
that.
in the cup.
Yeah.
It fills up like a slushy,
Oh,
It does, mate. It does.
and then he goes like, that, he goes, "I'm going to spew again." He gets an empty Tennent's can.
Oh.
I don't know what he was. I don't know
I've got
what
the
he-
footage of
I
it,
don't know
it's
what he was
fucking
thinking, but
hilarious.
he put his mouth up against the vote, it just went.
No, it went everywhere. And he saw chunks fall onto his arm and shit.
Oh, it was like a super
horrific.
shocker, man.
That
This
whole
is a
cannot-
fucking grim start to the podcast.
Oh, you feel like
yeah, talking about spewing and shit.
Talking
like
about
that, man.
spewing the Queen, man. It's grim.
Oh,
They haven't-
spewing on the Queen.
Aye, it started off with the Queen and now it's progressed to spewing in school again.
Where else?
It's getting progressively better.
Aye, true.
No, that has happened to me.
We're
like
off the,
a couple
we're off
times.
the Royals.
You just wake up and you just feel like sick, man.
At least you've not spewed in your nice wee chair. Made that wee bowl.
Oh god. I forgot
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's the bastard.
You don't even have that chair anymore.
Well, for that reason.
That is literally why. I was going to get a new one and then
Because that one,
ended
like,
I
it was like
yeah.
one of those, like, because the
Actually-
leather had all kind of peeled.
Yeah.
Like, leather seats do that.
Right.
Like, my fucking, the arms of mine are.
I've
are,
said
like,
this.
just
I've said this
shreds.
before, mate. The worst spew, right? I'm like, I think there's two up there that are like the worst peak ones, right? Jade, I think she in the morgue she threw up like during the night. So my bed's there and the bin's like down there, but she missed the bin.
Oh.
Went all over the floor on the carpet, and it was like a pure like, I think it was like a Chinese or a curry or something.
Oh.
I could see it like it was just raw in the smell. No, that's a lie. It was a chicken burger, mate. And it was. I'm not gonna lie. The smell of it. I woke up and I immediately like they just.
See the smell of sick, it makes you want to be sick. It's like the equivalent of when people say, like, oh, yawns are contagious. Like, you see somebody yawning and you yawn.
Yeah.
That's
It's
true.
like spewing. You see somebody
Aye.
spewing, you go, whoa.
And the second one was that Ben with the dominoes, mate.
Oh, that was fucking rotten. That was rotten.
We were in my house, right, in the kitchen, and Ben, I remember, I think he needed to spew. I was in the living room.
Well, no,
Laird-
we took shots of vodka
Aye,
in that
that's right.
kitchen.
Mm.
Mm.
But I remember I was next in the living
Shots are
room,
always dangerous,
and
but-
Laird was in the kitchen. I think he was just outside the kitchen, and I remember just hearing this noise, and I couldn't. The only way I describe
It's
it
just a
is like
splat.
a wet fucking dead body just hitting the floor.
It was rotten.
And you could hear it go and just spray. And I remember Laird was like, oh no. and I looked at him, I was like, oh no, what's happened? And I went in, and I remember just seeing like chunks of shit.
Chunks
and
of fucking
the puddle was
dominoes.
probably the size of this table, let's be honest.
The scene when that's
Oh.
worse than your
It look-
actual bathroom
it look-
falling through the kitchen roof.
that looked like a horror movie, I think. And I was trying to clean it up, and the smell was
No.
making me go,
I don't even know how you cleaned it up. I would have made him clean it up.
oh, no, I think he was helping me, but I just, oh fuck.
I would not
That's-
clean it
that's
up.
I told him to clean it up, because I can't clean it. I was like, I'm going to spew if I could.
Do you know what's the worst kind of shot for it? See, like Tequila Rose.
Tequila roses.
I forgot
Tequila
about that.
Rose
I don't-
is horrific.
No, I like it. I
It's
don't mind
tastes
it.
all right. See, if you're drinking only that, cool. But see, when you've like been having other things, like say if I'm having fucking
Right, okay. aye.
whiskey and coke, so you've got gas mixing with milk.
Oh,
That's like
Yeah,
that.
that
That is the taste of it.
That's
It's
what
just
makes
milk.
it more like bokeh, is because it's just like it's like I don't know. It's like mixing
Have you ever
Baileys
had
with
a-
fucking
a-
lemonade or something.
a Budweiser shot or whatever it was called.
Fuck is that?
No.
a Jaeger bomb,
No.
Jägermeister.
It tastes like chocolate.
Budweiser does not
Budweiser
taste like
shot.
No, it's
chocolate.
not Budweiser. But a Bud shot is something. We've had it in Word Up before. I can't even remember when I had it. It was this year, but
I don't know.
Wait, the beer or Budweiser?
aye,
Surely that cannot
What?
taste like
mate,
chocolate.
it was.
How was that a shot? But that's
No, you think that baby Guinness?
Aye,
You're thinking that
okay,
baby
okay,
Guinness, yeah.
what's the baby Guinness?
Aye.
It's just like a wee shot that looks like a Guinness. It's not got Guinness in it though.
So what's in it
I
then?
can't remember what's in it, but it's like it does taste kind of like chocolatey. I think.
You
or
know,
like,
what was
sweet.
really rotten, mate. That peanut butter shot.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I don't know how you had that.
I never even had
that
that.
sounds horrible
I'm
because peanut
allergic.
butter's thick. Like peanut butter's not even butter. It's like thicker than butter.
Mate, it was just a
I know what
taste
that is.
bud, but it tasted.
What's in it
It's
though?
got Bailey's in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
Aye.
like Bailey's and amaretto or
Type in,
something.
Aye.
type in peanut butter shot because we had. Actually, you had that as well. He said
It was the
and
fucking.
rotten.
What do you call it?
He said it was rotten, but that peanut butter one.
Something dog. It was like
The black dog.
sheepdog.
Oh, that was it.
Sheepdog peanut butter
Aye.
whiskey or something
Aye,
like
that's
that.
what it was.
Oh,
Aye,
okay.
it's flavoured like that.
Aye.
How somebody drinks that, I've no clue.
It looks like
Flavoured whiskies are alright though.
It only got ordered because it was the cheapest thing in the menu.
Oh,
it looks
Oh,
like
no,
just melted
aye.
butter, mate.
Oh no.
that is pish.
No, it smells so
I like
bad.
peanut butter as well, like on toast, like that. But I
Somebody
can't
works in the
eat it.
factory that makes that shit like every day.
I would spew, mate. I wouldn't even be able to work there.
I know.
Imagine,
Yeah, but it's like when you go through to Edinburgh and you can just smell the distilleries. Like the
Oh,
whole
if your
city
beefy
smells.
fucking
And the whole
smell.
city smells like
I'm not been to
Bovril.
Edinburgh in forever.
Mate, Bovril's rotten and all, man. Ugh.
Bovril's class, mate.
Brovril's good, but I've not had it in
Busted, mate.
forever. I just
Oh,
know it's
Bovril's
good.
Seen
so
somebody,
good.
seen I was at the games and people were somebody was sitting next to me with a fucking Bovril, mate. I wanted to just fucking.
But yeah,
Wonderful.
but it's Bovril's decent.
What was the question you were going to ask me?
I actually ordered
I
a pot of
was going to
Bovril
ask, is
over
the
COVID.
next episode of the Ring of Power out today?
It
Oh,
came
yeah,
out.
I'm
It
still
came
in
out
the
like
hobby.
3 in the morning.
Did it?
I've not
There's only
watched
one
it yet.
episode.
It's one episode,
One
a
episode
week
each
now.
Friday.
I'm not even seeing anything.
I may watch it at night actually when I go home. I think.
There was some controversy over it.
Yeah, so basically,
Not quite yet.
when we recorded last week, the plan was after we watched the first 2 episodes, so we did. I think that the verdict between us is that we enjoyed it.
I liked it.
It wasn't
liked
it wasn't like a
I
10 out of
liked it.
10, but it was.
say
I
it
just
wasn't a 10
enjoyed-
out of
I'd say it's
I-
a 7 or
7,
8.
8, 7, 8.
I think people like look too much into it though.
Aye,
Like,
they
and
do.
go like they expect like a masterpiece, like an Amazon show.
Well, it's
You're
like,
never
see, if
gonna
you're
get
pure,
a 10
when
out
you're
of
a pure
10.
critic person, then you'll pure judge it.
I was talking to one of the guys.
I think there's like such a high expectation now.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of
See
the
if
guys.
that came out
this.
in like the 2000s, it'd be like, no,
I
this would be
get
pretty
why
good.
I
It's
get why
fucking good.
people are angry about it. Like I can get the because to me they want to stick to the lore as much as possible, which is understandable because it's kind of like changing. I was trying to describe it because also people were saying about the race thing, like elves are like they're described as like pale and like white, pretty much like as in, you know what I mean. And people also were like, oh, why did they this like adding like black actors and that? And I was like, I don't really care about the mad and black actors, but I get their frustration with it. It's like they want to keep it to the story because it's kind of like changing things
I do.
in other like
and I don't.
adaptations. You know what I mean? It's like imagine like let's take just Marvel or something like Black Panther. That would not be hanging by a white guy. You know
But
what I
then
mean?
again, the books didn't like specify skin color.
It described them as like it kind of did. It described
There-
them as a
there's-
pale race.
Oh,
There's
okay,
two sides
right.
to the
We did
argument
it.
though,
Yeah,
because
they're described as a pale race.
realistically, and the way things are now with Twitter and fucking people making their own opinions about beloved series, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Kenobi, that's just come
Aye.
out a few months ago,
Mm.
people were fucking raging because they had a black actor in it.
Aye. That's just racism, that though. I think.
But actually, it was,
it's not
But,
really anything
that's
to do
what I
with
mean. Like,
war,
I think
mean.
there is an underlying racism, and it's like,
It is,
it's
mate.
okay. Maybe you can make an excuse for like, well,
Mhm.
oh, you know, in the books that never
Aye.
actually covered this.
But I feel this is
They-
different. I feel like with lore
Yeah.
it is different though, because like that's like Star Wars is kind of like it'll have all sorts of like races and like it's not.
Yeah, but like,
It's not against the like lore. I'd
no,
say.
but there's a lot of lore to Star Wars. There's like novels and there's.
I don't
all
really care
sorts.
about too much. Like I'm not. I don't look at it and go, I'm fucking like I understand why people are annoyed about it. Like I can get it. Like it's like it's
I
like then
don't-
minor things. It's like making Harry Potter like different. Like as in like I don't know, give him blonde
I mean,
hair
like,
and
if,
make
they, if
him
they
sick.
remade Harry Potter and like Harry Potter was black, I'm not racist, but it'd be annoying.
It would be annoying because it's different. It's not that.
It's just aye.
And it's same with the James. I was talking about James Bond. James Bond
Aye,
is
that's what I was
described as
about to say.
like a guy who's British and but people are like, let's Idris Alba,
Aye.
big black guy in that. You know what I mean? Or it's they were asking about a woman in that. It's just.
I mean, that's like, see,
But is it the thing is they're going off script with James Bond now? Though they've run out of books.
But they do, that's,
So why not just have like
Aye, no, but
an
then
alternative
I don't
Bond?
think why make it Bond? Why not just make it something else?
see the
You know what I mean? Doesn't need. Why does it need to be a James Bond?
the Disney thing that was on yesterday.
mm-hmm.
They were announcing all these films and stuff. They
Yeah.
showed the trailer of the Little Mermaid, the real
Oh, did
version
they?
of it.
Yeah.
Mm.
But she's black
Uh-huh.
with red hair, but it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but nobody has
Aye.
like red hair
No, but-
like Ariel anyway, unless it's dyed.
Sorry,
no, but,
Nobody
like-
naturally has red
But
hair.
in like the originals and stuff, she's white the whole time. But
Going back
Yeah, but it
to
doesn't matter.
see going back
it's
to
a
the ring.
fucking mermaid. Mermaids aren't fucking real.
Aye, no, but it's no,
just
but
to fit with the character, but from like
it's
previous.
going back to the Ring of
Yeah,
Power.
if
But see the Harfoots, right? They're
Aye.
described as being browner and darker in skin in the books. Harfoots, you know the ones that,
Aye.
right? They're not hobbits or anything like that. They're described as that, and a lot of them are. But some people are getting obviously annoyed that one of them was white, right? Because they're not. They weren't
But
described.
they're not
as
all
that.
white.
No.
And like the TV.
No, Harfoot. No,
Oh, no, yeah,
Harfoots are
okay,
different from Hobbit.
yeah,
Harfoots
yeah.
are they described as smaller, obviously, and darker in skin. Like, it says brownish in the books, right? That's what it says.
Mhm.
And that's the same with elves. Elves are described as pale. I think one of the guys was trying to say, oh, but it could be like somebody who's like black but a pale. I'm like that wouldn't you wouldn't say pale. You just say
Yeah.
that person's a bit some of them are dark or some are not. You specify these things. I think if that was the case, which
Yeah.
is why like I can see. Like people are saying, all these people are racist saying this. I don't think I'd say the one with the Kenobi. Then people are racist because it's different. I think because to the
Well,
Ring of Power.
I just think there's such a kind of like I don't know, but like the fact that it got review bombed. Everything nowadays gets review bombed.
Mm,
Yeah, that's true.
Anything of some kind of comic lore
yeah.
or fantasy lore, is straight away as soon as it's released, it's like, oh no, they've used a character of a different race.
Yeah.
Fucking review bomb it.
Mm.
So it's like a 6 out of 10 rating on IMDb because
I know.
people just
I feel like
can't
it's 'cause-
sit
it's
and watch it for an hour.
It's
like,
because certain
fuck
things
off.
have like lore has obviously different definitions and different like specifications. You know what I mean? If you start changing that, then you know what I mean. It's kind of it defeats the whole purpose of the story. And
I
all
don't
that,
see how
think.
someone can be racist unless they're specifically dissing a character for being black.
Aye, that's
Aye.
aye.
Because like if it's like, for instance, if you have a character that doesn't match the lore, if you have like a character that's been white throughout the whole series of
Mm.
whatever, and then you suddenly turn them into a black character,
Yeah.
then it doesn't match the lore. But as long as you're not actually saying, "Oh, I don't want them to be black because they're black,"
Aye.
you can't be racist. Like you get no hatred towards black people.
Aye, exactly.
But
You're
again,
just saying that you don't think it should be. You don't think they should be black because it doesn't match the lore.
Yeah, that's
to,
fine.
to come back to the James Bond argument,
Mm-hmm.
if you've ever watched Roger Moore as James Bond, I think personally he was one of the best Bonds, but he was an old fuck at the time.
What
Like,
movie was that?
he was in like, I think he was in like 5 or 6.
Aye.
Roger Moore, but
Aye.
he was an old
didn't know
guy
that
at the
one.
time. He was like
Yeah,
50s,
yeah.
60s when he was doing it, and like that doesn't fit the description of James
Aye.
Bond.
I only
Aye.
remember Sean
I
Connery.
feel like age is something very easily like concealed. You know what I mean? Like people. Like,
No, you could evidently see that he was an old.
Aye, I know
That's
it's a
what-
guy, but
like,
but
But it's the same thing. It's like, well, he
But-
doesn't fit
but
the
that's
character
not-
description, but
aye.
he still plays James Bond.
But it's
well.
not. It doesn't need to like that. Is like age. That is just something that's just a more of a like a. I'm trying to say like it's just that's like not too
But,
far out. If that makes sense. Like
not
at
really.
eight-
I mean, if you've got a child character getting played by a 70-year-old,
Yeah,
Aye,
exactly.
that's off the
that's
mark.
quite an extreme. But I mean, like he probably
True.
didn't look like a pure young gleaming young man, but he still probably looked like an old British like 007 agent. You know what I mean? It doesn't. That's just kind of and obviously that's just on a different adaptation. But that doesn't go against James Bond. I don't think.
But that's what I mean. Like, no, it does though.
I don't think
Because
it does.
that's not James Bond's age.
It doesn't.
So the point is more that then if you have a black James Bond, it's a different adaptation of
Aye.
Bond. All you've
Well,
adapted is his race.
I get what you're saying, but I think it's like it doesn't. I don't think that matters as much.
As long as
You
you
know,
are
the-
not basing the movie off one of the James Bond began in books, right?
Mm.
As long as you're not basing the story off a book, then I guess you've got
Aye.
free reign
Obviously,
to do whatever you like.
When book goes to film, there can be slight things like that. You know what I mean? Like different. Like obviously, the thing is with this, it's like more of a. It's more, when talking about the lore, it's more of like a kind of like culture thing. Like people want it to be quite close to the book as possible. It's not going to be bang on. It's impossible for it to be exactly the same. But these slight differences. But then the reason that these differences are quite thingy is because like it's so easily thingied. Like that's so easily changed or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Age is quite hard to. I mean, you can de-age people and that, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Well,
but
no, you
makeup,
can't.
well, not everyone.
I've
Makeup and
displayed
that.
by the Irishman that you really fucking
Well, I
can.
mean,
Aye, true.
It
look at.
depends on how well you do it.
Depends if you hire a good
Well, no,
VFX
I,
artist.
I thought that was a good age, and
It was
I
alright.
no,
one of the
no.
best. There's
See
some
the
good
scenes
though.
where he was meant to be like 20s, early
Oh, aye,
20s.
that was bad. Aye.
And I thought, oh, well, he's obviously middle aged. And then it was like, oh no, he's meant to be a fucking young guy, and he
Yeah.
looks 60.
Have you
Right.
seen
What?
Better Call Saul?
Not yet.
No, yeah,
no
but,
spoilers, please. I was
Are
rewatching
you
Breaking-
aware of who is in it?
Yeah.
Aye.
Okay, well, for instance, Jesse does not. Jesse had obviously been
Because it's meant it's a
altered.
prequel, so
It's a prequel, aye. So like the scene where they take Saul out and bury him, Jesse looks like a lot older
Oh, he looks really
Yeah.
old. doesn't it? I
than
saw the
he
cover
should.
of it.
Yeah.
Aye, what
From
was
the
on that?
original Breaking Bad.
What was the one after
Yeah,
Breaking
shot.
Bad? Is El Camino? See that Todd guy?
Yeah,
he
El
looked. You
Camino.
can tell he had a bit of like different like face and that.
Jesse didn't look that bad in El Camino.
I've never seen
Look
El
good.
Camino. I've seen. I don't know why. I've
As-
seen
see, to
Breaking
be
Bad.
fair,
I've
though,
seen,
it
I've
was
seen
like-
Breaking Bad
That like
3
ends the whole
times.
story.
Aye.
no, but El
Better
Camino
Call
went
Saul.
under the radar.
I like
It
it.
did.
I think,
It
see,
did.
unless you knew it was coming out, you wouldn't have known
No,
about
I've
it.
always
Because
known
it was a
about it. I've
Netflix
just
release.
never
Get that
watched it
watched.
for
I
some
I
reason. I
liked,
know.
I've watched El
enjoyed
Camino.
it.
I liked El Camino. It was good. Just kind of follows up, which is kind of what
Okay.
I
It
want
kind
to
of
know.
ends
and that.
Jesse's story. Yeah.
Aye, so good. Actually, I seen what's his name? Is it Adam?
Aaron
Paul.
Aaron Paul.
Yes, he was reacting to. I think he was reacting to Sausage Rolls or something like that on one of these mad.
Oh,
Mate,
Greg
I've watched
Sausage
that.
Rolls. Aye.
it was that, and
Yeah.
they had a pretzel. I think was it pretzel?
He ate the pretzel and he was like, I know what this
He's
tastes
like-
like. And then he ate the
a fucking
ate the
Lad Bible
sausage
snack-
roll and he was
snack wars.
like,
Aye,
oh,
it looked pretty dry. as fuck, and then
America,
get on-
get these sausage
rolls,
rolls on
aye.
the case or whatever.
Aye.
Greg's is so good.
I've not had
I
a
love
Greg's in
Greg's.
ages, man.
I thought you were going to say I've never
Nah,
had a Greg's.
I've
And
had a
I
Greg's.
was
That would
actually
be
going to throw
terrible.
myself across the table.
Aye,
Get a
Greg's-
raise.
I was going to
Okay.
launch myself out of my seat.
I like Greg's. Greg's are good.
I had like
Yeah,
a
they
chicken
even cover
baguette.
for you now.
I
Yeah,
do.
vegan sausage rolls.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Vegan.
They've
Vegan
been there
sausage
for a
rolls are-
while.
Yeah, a few years now.
Aye.
I feel love it. To be honest, that's like my favorite.
They're actually. I like the vegan sausage rolls. I've tried them, and they're actually decent.
Yeah,
They're
I,
they
think-
I
probably
feel
taste
like they're
exact
less
same.
greasy,
Mm.
I think so as well. I think,
but they still
um,
taste like nice. I'm not gonna lie, I still prefer a sausage roll.
Sausage roll. Aye.
Aye. Ah, to each their own.
A sauce-ish roll is still alright.
A sausage.
What do they
So-
fill a
sausage.
vegan sausage roll with? What is the sausage in a vegan sausage roll?
I think it's just.
Well, it's kind of the herbs and like spices they can still use to like
yeah,
get,
no, but I think
to
the
mimic
actual,
the flavour.
I,
Right,
think
but,
it's,
it's,
I think it's talking about the actual like.
but it'll be like
I think it's.
corn or something.
I think it's like it's not corn. It's like I think it's like a soy type thing.
soy boy.
Probably
Boy.
it's probably got a bunch of things in it, like beans and that. I don't know. They make like how they make vegan burgers. It's a mix of like a bunch of
Mhm.
stuff. Like, but then obviously you get Beyond Meat and different ones. But you can make like a chili bean burger, or you make different types of ones. Like, you just add stuff. It's kind of just like any burger. You just kind of stuff.
Aye.
I know.
What's that burger brand that was pure? Like, what was it? A Forever Burger or something?
It's like
that?
Beyond. Well, you get like
Beyond Burger.
Yeah,
Beyond.
that's
Aye.
okay.
I know. I like Beyond Meat as well. The only thing I don't like about it is it fucking makes my piss smell a bit weird. That's the thing
I
with
smell it
Interesting.
that.
This is a man that was complaining about bestiality talk last week.
It's the same. No, it's the same with like lentils. You know how you eat a lot of
I've
lentils,
just-
man.
I've just
Lentils
seen
just
piss.
change the. I know why.
Aye, that looks like pish, mate.
I'm gonna go.
Because it is push.
Calls that husband.
Oh, Laird, you're missing it. Ah.
Oh, what you doing?
Hand it all.
This is very.
Oh god.
I heard the gulp,
The
mate.
leg is like.
Two bag of
Oh,
just
wait,
whiskey.
wait.
10 right now.
I think Jack Daniels was fine. I think there's some whiskies that's like, ugh.
Smell, mate, is.
I just go in that, but
You need to
watch
do
the
your
legs.
Fucking vault. For context, there is like a fucking laser maze of cables in front of the table right now. So to get out the way we're set up today, it's fucking impossible.
It really is impossible. Fuck
But
yeah.
no, so what did we think of the first two episodes? I'm assuming none
enjoyed
of,
it.
Has
I
anyone
really-
watched the third episode?
No, not
yet.
yet. I know.
I enjoyed it.
Oh wait,
enjoyed
sorry. My dad just texted me saying latest snooker score: Tommy 5, Ryan 0.
Oh,
My dad's up your.
You need to go and help Brian out, man.
My dad's up your shark. I know. I
Oh,
won't.
that Tommy strikes me as the kind of guy that
He's a
like,
shark. He's a shark.
Like, if he actually entered into some sort of like tournament bracket, would actually be decent.
Oh no, he's good. Yeah, it's good. He's good at everything, but he's one of them like
I know.
jack of all trades, but just good at them all.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, going back to Ring of Power.
Because we all watched it last week and we got a McDonald's which didn't deliver my fucking apple pie, and I'm still fuming about it because I sent an email, not an email, but like there's a thing on the Deliveroo app you can say was there missing items.
You sound like you're Karen right now. Oh, shut up,
My
mate.
fucking- I wasn't exactly
Okay.
calling up McDonald's like, can I speak to your manager and fucking lose your job? I was like, well,
I know.
I paid for an apple pie and didn't get an apple pie, so I wanted my money back.
To be fair, but
it's
it's
McDonald's for you, but
like,
Just on the apple pie, I didn't care about the rest of
yeah,
it.
they're under so much fucking. You know what I mean? I don't really. I see something's missing. I'm like, oh, big deal. You know what I
mate,
mean?
yous fucking stunk my room out. By the way, I was sleeping at night, going to my bed. All I could smell is fucking vegan burgers, man.
Yeah, because this cunt fucking 5 McPlants.
I did.
It's because they were sitting beside my bed as well, like when you're eating them.
No, but that's probably what he didn't take away the packaging. He just left it.
No, I did, I did, I did,
They
I
were-
did, I
No,
did.
they were just sitting in the window.
Aye,
Like,
and the-
just like
the giraffe
wafting.
would
So that was like
Having it.
going on to my fucking blankets, man.
The giraffe.
Like, everyone,
would-
everyone
Oh.
the
finished their
giraffe would
food.
have been coming in, just getting over him at night time.
And then yous were fucking passed out sleeping, and I was like, right.
No, to be fair,
it's
I
fucking
wasn't.
half
It was
two,
just me and
so-
you were just sitting.
Aye,
Like,
we were just sitting there, like.
I was watching Tenacious D pick a Destiny.
Oh mate, I seen the.
You seen the
start.
first 5 minutes conked out.
Died.
Yeah,
Same with Hamish.
and we just kind of looked. Oh, should we get them up or something?
It's a good movie, but
We tried though. We were like, come on, Jack.
It took so long. I had to eventually
like,
had to turn big light on. Get big light on.
No, because I remember I get outside like I was sitting to myself, can I drive? I'm like, I started walking.
I knew you were thinking that.
I started walking. No, I can't. I just started walking.
I said to you, I was like, no, there's no way you're driving.
I was no, I had to like sit and just wait. Nah, that's not
Mm.
that. No chat, not a fucking chance. I was mainly him.
but
I probably could have, but I was like, I wouldn't feel weird about it.
Yeah.
because I started watching. I rewatched the Hobbits recently because I think I'd only ever seen them in cinemas. I don't think I've rewatched
Really?
them since.
Which are so good, mate.
I watched them all in cinema, but like.
I know. So the Ring of Power, I rated it quite high, to be honest. Like I thought it was. I give it a solid 8. Like on a good day, 7. You know what I mean? It's like in amongst that range.
I'd give it a 7 right now.
It's like
I think it's like a 7, 8. I think it'll probably it's
I think
a
it'll
series.
build. Aye, it'll
you need
build.
to watch it again. You know what?
A series is never going to be as like boom action as a film. An
That's the
action
thing.
a film even in 3 hours they've still got to cram it in. 3 hours would be 3 episodes. This is going to be what 7, 8.
I think our true opinion will come when we need to see me need to rewatch it and just get like, re-immersed because I feel like you get the excitement of it coming out and watching it and you get so excited
They
about
done
it.
that with like they're on a TV show. One of the Breaking Bad actors, and he was saying how Breaking Bad when it first aired, it nearly got cancelled in season 3.
Mm.
In season 1 and 2 because no one watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
Supposedly when it first came out, nobody watched it. No one really was interested. And then once at 3 and 4, 3 was like all right, but then 4 it caught up. But that was the second last
there's so
season.
many shows
Season
now.
1 and 2 were actually.
No, they were
I'd say
good.
They were good.
I
But like
I
when it
don't know why
released,
no
no
one
one watched it really.
I
Like, it was just
I
shit.
thought, see,
It wasn't
I
shit.
never watched Breaking Bad till like years later.
I didn't watch it live.
And
like,
I just thought, because
Oh, neither
like
did
somebody's
I,
told me like, oh, you kind of need to watch it and then you slowly get into it. And I'm like, I can't be bored with like slow burners. Like, and when I watched it, I was like, oh, no,
the
actually,
only thing I really watched weekly on release was Walking Dead.
I got hooked on like as soon as I watched the first
Is
3
that not
episodes.
still going though?
It's the last season
Is it
now.
not shite though? Like,
Yeah, like from
now
what I've heard, is
it's actually
fell
good,
off.
mate.
Season
Is it-
11,
I never
10,
even started.
11, 10,
I never
9
watched it
is
at
shite,
Aye.
supposedly. But season 1 to 5, or season 1 to 6,
I played the games.
Really?
The
Oh, yeah.
Telltale games.
Oh, the battery's low on that by the way.
I feel like I went to. I feel like I
record
watched.
on-
What do you call it?
Alright, cool.
Better hurry up, man. In case
Yeah.
it fucking dies right now.
I watched until they got to some what's it called, like a sort of like science lab,
Mm.
and like the whole science lab got like blown to bits or something like that.
Aye.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to?
What?
Speaking about zombies and series, the
What?
Last of Us series.
Oh right. Oh yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
they're bringing it to
Just
Last
There's
remembered
a
that
Last of
was
Us
gonna
series.
happen.
It's Pedro Pascal. It's
They're
gonna be.
gonna need to work on that, I think, man. Only like for
No, they've been filming for a while.
You're better.
There was some footage came out. I mean, people have like leaked kind of like filming and stuff. It's like they're filming here, but there was some official photos released from the set and stuff. And I think Pedro Pascal does look like a good fit for the character.
Aye.
I think it will be a good series because they are putting the time into it.
I loved the game so much, the first one. I loved like the story, like the clickers and all that, like heavy sneaking past.
But
I've
even
never played the
that's
second
another example of what we were talking about earlier. The second game came out and people were fucking raging because they had a female protagonist, 2 female protagonists,
The lesbian couple.
and they were like, oh, well, this isn't The Last of Us. It's like, well, it
I-
kind
I-
of fucking
I never-
is because
Yeah,
this
it's
is
the-
now
it's
this
the
is
Last
now.
of Us.
I don't know why.
It's like what's this? It's fucking Ellie. It's like the same Ellie. Ellie
Aye.
was
Ellie
It's
was a
still Ellie,
lesbian. If
yeah.
Ellie's a lesbian in the second, she's still
yeah. It's like she didn't fucking openly talk about her sexuality because she was about 12.
I don't think I played the second one because I thought like it wouldn't be as good as the first type deal. Like I didn't think it was going to be.
I think the second was good. It just had quite an abrupt start. If you've not played it,
I love the
it's
mo-
got a sad
See,
start.
see the multiplayer in the first one. I loved it. That was my favorite. See the PvP in that. Oh, it was so
I
good,
fucking
mate.
hated it because I
Oh.
played with like you and Cammy and stuff like this was
Oh,
like
mate.
years ago.
I was too good at it. I was
and,
so
and
cocky
you would
at
just
it.
fucking like go around corners and pop me. I'm just like
I was-
walking about a pistol.
I was
don't know
so
what the fuck I'm
cocky at
doing.
it that I would use a bow and arrow, mate. Is how cocky I was in that game. Like I would just use bow and arrow was still good. It was a 1-shot headshot, and then there was also a 2 to the body. And I'd just be putting traps and that everywhere, and just like playing with people. mate.
That was genuinely like one of my first shooters.
Aye.
Like, because I was never like a shooter guy.
know. I was-
and then it was
aye.
about the same time I got my first
I was
COD.
so
It
good,
must have been
but
like
I could
Black
literally-
Ops 3.
I would wipe teams.
What
like
was your
see- 'cause
first
it's like-
COD?
Black Ops 3 was my
How
first
many was
COD.
it?
Fucking hell,
Wait,
man.
what?
It's bogging.
Yeah.
That's bogging.
But I put so much time into it though. I'm not even like
Mate, Black Ops 1 was my childhood, mate. You know?
Black Ops 2, man. Like I played the ones before Black Ops 2, but Black Ops 2 is the main COD that I will.
Black Ops 2.
like don't get me
remember
wrong. I
forever.
played older CODs at people's houses.
Right,
Like,
oh,
split
okay.
screen. I played other CODs.
Right.
I feel that was an
But I
argument.
never owned a COD until
Right.
Black Ops 3.
Black Ops 2, mate, I was so cocky at it. I think I was just like, I'd go and
Black
like
Ops 2
riot
was
shields
so
and
good.
tomahawks and that, and just like go and search and destroy. Like once you
See,
got
just everything, the multiplayer, the zombies, it was just perfect.
amazing.
It was actually
Yeah,
perfect.
I'd like every single DLC.
There was
man,
nothing
just-
bad about Black Ops 3.
I'm
Black Ops 2.
Oh,
Black Ops 3
3 wasn't bad.
Black Ops 3 was a
It
good
wasn't
game.
bad. It actually wasn't bad.
Black Ops 4.
I couldn't get
trash.
into it, but really.
Black Ops 3 was a
Wait,
good
Black
game.
Ops 4 does not exist, mate.
Oh,
I cannot
it's like
remember
a-
about
Exactly.
anything
It's
about it.
fucking.
dream, man.
I played like
I
2
think I
games
played
of it
it
and
once.
decided
Aye.
Never
I'm
touched
alright.
it
Does
again.
anyone even play Black Ops 4?
No chance.
I completely forgot it
some
existed,
guy
like,
that got Dark Matter on it probably is still
See-
searching for a lobby right
I
now.
don't
but,
even
like,
Dark
See,
Matter
no, I
is,
think-
man. Like,
No,
Dark Matter's like when you. It's like when you
aye.
go like diamond on every gun.
oh,
And then you get Dark
okay,
Matter.
right.
You know, that's the
sure.
problem with like
Right.
see like games like back in the day like with Activision and all that shit, Treyarch, right? Like see now, man, they make a game just to make money and then it dies so quickly.
Well,
Same with
They
every
brought it back a
company,
bit,
man,
but
though.
The
but,
thing
like,
is,
well, not
wee
really.
bit.
Modern
Like,
Warfare 2 is coming out, which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
But it also marks the first. They're now doing since Microsoft has bought over Activision
Mm.
Blizzard.
Right, Blizzard.
COD is now going to be biannual. So this means Modern Warfare 2 is going to be active for 2 years basically.
Aye,
So it's not like they're just like firing another one out.
It's turned
I'm
into
happy with that.
to me. It was kind of slowly turning into FIFA, where it's just to bring a new
I
one
really,
every and
aye,
add
exactly.
things in
I
that.
don't care how often it comes out, as long as it comes out and it's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though.
If they just pump it out for the
'Cause-
sake of
'cause basically,
profit, then it just
obviously
it
this
ruins
is
it,
me
mate.
off.
It ruins the essence of it.
It was
Exactly.
split between 3 companies before COD, so it meant that like they would release a COD every year, but it wasn't like they spent a year working on the game. It was 3 years.
Aye.
Whereas now it's like 6 years before each company releases their game.
What was it? Sledgehammer,
Sledgehammer,
Treyarch, and
Infinity
Activision.
Ward,
Oh,
Treyarch.
Infinity Ward,
Treyarch,
aye.
I think Activision was kind of like the overarching
Aye,
bracket of all of them.
aye, aye.
Aye.
I'm so excited for
I
it.
mean, like see Black Ops 1 and 2, but you could just that was a game like you could have just left it.
Yeah.
You could. I would have happily have just it died.
Black Ops 3 was good, and what I've been playing the last week, I get into it at the time, but it was Black Ops Cold War.
Aye, you've been on Cold War, I've noticed that.
Yeah,
Cold War isn't bad.
Cold War's
It
a
wasn't
good
that
game.
bad.
Cold War's good,
But
aye.
nobody
Imagine
played
them
multiplayer because we're all playing Warzone, and you couldn't have both installed at the same time because they're both fucking huge.
That's true.
Aye.
Like unless you were
Warzone's
on
like
PC
200
and you had
gigabytes.
I
on
didn't.
it,
I didn't mind the
something
Cold War.
stupid.
I just feel it still didn't have that like. That
Cold
factor
War
in
was
it.
a good
We
game.
all played the multiplayer for a good bit. Like Scott as well. Fucking there's so
Aye.
many
Aye,
of us.
Cold War was
I-
kind
I
of fucking
think- I think-
Connor Wright
aye.
played that,
Aye,
did they
there's
not?
It's
tons.
probably the best COD that came out in a long time. I think, in my opinion.
Modern Warfare was good.
Mm.
I loved Modern Warfare.
The
That was
remaster
class.
of Modern Warfare. Was
Yeah.
good.
I was decent. I
was
didn't
a
play
bit
that one as long as Cold War. but-
Basically, it's whenever fucking who is it that makes like fucking Vanguard and stuff in World War II?
Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer, yeah. Whenever they release their COD, that's when I don't play it.
Yeah, same. That Vanguard was the one COD
Vanguard,
I've not bought.
World War
Since
II,
that,
I didn't buy.
I've bought every single COD
Yeah, I
that's came out.
forgot Vanguard.
Everything
I've
was
not. I quit after like Cold War. I think that was like me.
Cold War. That one
Yeah,
after that was Vanguard.
Yeah, aye.
Aye.
But I'm looking forward to COD now. I think the fact that you do now have the time to level up guns and shit.
Exactly.
You can
You've
commit
got the time
time to
to
the
it.
game.
But even Ghost, mate. I loved Ghost as
I
well.
liked
mate.
Ghost.
Because
Everyone
it was-
dissed Ghost,
I
but
liked
it was
Ghost.
Loved
class.
it.
aye.
Actually, mate, people hate until they like until it's
I
gone, you know what
actually
mean?
really enjoyed Ghost.
I feel like in Ghosts, the main thing everybody criticised was the spawn points on the multiplayer
Oh,
maps.
aye.
Everyone was like, "Oh, you spawn too close to the enemy team."
That's just you fucking raging.
That's
about half
just
the
you
time.
being shite.
I don't think Ghost
Yeah,
was the
that's true.
worst game, but it
Yeah,
definitely
good.
wasn't near the top.
No,
It wasn't near the top.
tier.
It wasn't
No.
near. It wasn't
I think-
nearly near the
I
top.
think
It was still a
every-
decent
yeah.
game.
I'd give it an A tier if I was going to say.
Aye,
Compared to like
A tier.
Advanced
I don't
Warfare and
I would
Black
say,
Ops
mate, I mean,
4,
B.
man, Ghosts
I'd say
is-
B probably. I'd say
I
B.
put
A is quite high.
I put S tiers like Black Ops 1, and then Modern Warfare and all that shit. What?
I mean, but I think the thing with COD is everyone's got their own like nostalgic attachments to COD.
Yeah.
So like, even if the game was shit, if you put
no.
a lot of time into Ghost,
You'd
you
still love
probably
it.
have a bit
Yeah,
of
yeah.
sentiment there.
The thing is, see with Black Ops 1, right? The reason I love the game was the maps were just iconic, just good design.
Yeah.
The game's guns were so balanced, like you could literally use any gun, mate, and you'd still be equal fight with people who are using what people would even declare goods.
Yeah.
You needed like a lot more, like there was a bit of recoil on that in Black Ops 1. And then when we went to Black Ops 2, I thought, actually, you know what's weird, mate? I think because I played Black Ops 1 for so long, when I went on to Black Ops 2, mate, I just did better because on Black Ops 2, it wasn't, I feel the skill gap was just lower. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I feel in Black Ops 1, you actually had to like be good.
I think that was my only concern with Cold War was that because there wasn't as many multiplayer players, because
Yeah.
all of who would have been playing multiplayer were now playing Warzone. It meant that the skill based matchmaking was so like fucked. Like you could play a game and go like fucking 16-2, and it's like a good game, and the next game you would get fucking
It's demolished.
Like
you would be like fucking 0-8
Aye.
And see in Black Ops 1, like,
on a game of Search because
quick scopes, mate. Like you needed to be really skillful to use that L9 sniper, mate. You couldn't like see. That's why I thought
the L9 was solid. Man.
see in
It was
Black Ops 2, mate. I feel like like the snipers weren't too hard, but the L9, mate. Like see people who
L9
were good at
was-
that was a skill in itself. Not even playing a game normally. If you were good at the quick scope on the L9, mate, you're just god. Literally.
I think that's like a lot of like COD games though. I mean, there's always like one gun that's so fucking like anyone could use it and get kills. You know, like there's some LMG that you can just fucking laser
I was-
people down.
I
with.
The L9 though was the same as Intervention in Modern Warfare 2. Like
Yeah.
that was solid.
Yeah.
But when
But,
she got good at
that's,
it,
but, but that's the thing. It's
class.
like some people would just be like, well, why should I put the time in
Aye.
that when I can just get fucking
But
I can just
aye.
farm kills with
True.
this.
Yeah, I
that was
just
the thing
remember.
that was the
like,
thing good about Black Ops 1 and 2, but as the guns were so balanced that like people, a noob could just whip out a machine gun and start put a couple of attachments on it and just start
Fuck you.
spraying
I mean,
them,
like,
man.
see in Black Ops 2, you'd go on Nuketown, you'd get the riot shield and the
LSAT.
LSAT with the target finder.
And sit at the
You'd
back
sit
of the map.
right at the very back of the map and aim towards the enemy team.
Down the big alleyway.
Aye, you just hold it down.
When people would start shooting at you, just press B, sit down for a wee bit.
Oh,
Someone would
shield
stop shooting at you, sit back up and
People would do that.
you'd actually end up with about 80 kills. 80 to about
No,
9
you know what's
death
something?
rate
You know what's
kill,
something I remember? What's the game mode where you get like a bomb just appears in some teams?
Search and destroy.
No. It's the one with the. I think it's called demolition. Actually, is it demolition?
Oh right.
That's a
And you
new
get
one,
three bomb sites.
Aye. And you
aye.
need it switches, and you need to keep like each team needs to try and
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
limit-
yeah.
right. So this is what I would use on that. I remember I'd use like it was the riot shield.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, not riot shield.
Probably the ballistic knife.
I would run a bit with the 2 tomahawks.
I used to
Melee
melee,
so
so
like in the HS10 shotguns, right? They were fucking terrible guns, right? But see, the reason people weren't good with them is because they were so the range was literally you'd have to be like where you're sitting there for me to kill you.
Yeah.
I remember I'd just run a bit, man, and just like keep just.
Well, but that's the thing they've done recently is like,
and I'd run double.
there's like I think is it the Magnums and fucking there was the Magnums and the Marshalls which you could akimbo and like they were basically like 2-shot pistols which you could like spam. So if you go around the corner and you just fucking if you land both your shots, the person's dead. And the range was not bad on them.
You know what gun I really hated, man, in Black Ops 1? It was the Dragunov and that mad M14. See if you wanted to get gold on it,
Dragunov.
you'd have to just hit like
You know what we should
headshots.
But I think the thing is, right,
I know you're going to say right
for
now.
COD, like there's something that I think the two most satisfying weapons to get kills with is either a sniper or melee.
I thought shotguns were quite
There's
satisfying.
something so fun about being able to get round the back of a team with a knife
Mate,
Oh
and
yeah.
just like
Aye.
sliding about. And
see,
going,
see Black Ops 1, mate. See the Spaz 12 and you press the press on it and see you just
That's 12 is satisfying as fuck.
and you hit somebody with that and it's just like hear that
I just
you
think
hear the hit and it'd be so
yeah,
good, mate.
there's some like there's always like an automatic shotgun though in these games,
Yeah.
and I never find it quite as
Hey,
satisfying
Black Ops 1 had
as a
that.
pure one hit kill.
Black Ops 1 had the Olympia, which was satisfying. You just went fucking
Aye.
right, and then you had the I think it was called the stakeout. The mad that was actually quite satisfying. You just did that and keep.
Mate, the fucking Remington in Black Ops 2 though.
What was the auto
Remington.
shotgun in Black
What
Ops?
was
So
that
you
one
know the
again?
one when you'd
Remington.
equip the.
What's the red one that shoots rapid? Is it something STD? Oh, it's STD.
The STD.
SUV
You know
or
the
something.
class with a tactical insurgent, and you'd get the shotgun, and it was pure rotating clip.
Aye.
Oh, that.
SG5?
So I
Aye,
fucking
something
something
like
like
that,
that, man. But
Get the
aye.
guns up because what is the one in Black Ops 2? But it's the red sniper, and it was so annoying to try and get gold or a
SUV.
diamond even. Aye,
SUV.
that's what I was trying to say. Aye.
SUV, that's what I was
Oh,
gonna
no,
say.
that was a pain
See
in
the
the
SUV
arse,
and
man.
the XPR.
Headshots.
XPR 50,
No,
aye.
Spew, man.
That
No, the XPR was
Yeah,
class,
XPR wasn't
man.
bad.
It was the
Yeah,
SVU that took
Oh,
the
it-
piss,
Aye,
man. Like,
you had to get bloodthirsties and you also had to get headshots, mate.
Aye.
And it just would be so annoying, mate. You'd end up hitting their shoulder because
Aye,
the recoil was
aye, aye,
going
aye,
up.
I know.
like that. You're like,
It was like two shots. It was actual with the SVU. It was actually like 2 fucking shots to the head
That's
before you
it.
could kill the guy, man.
Aye,
That-
you had to put on a certain attachment like the FMG or something.
Aye, full
M12.
metal jacket. So
Aye.
aye,
M1216.
that one.
Oh, no,
I
I like
can never
that one,
remember
see
the
that
name
one,
of
yeah.
that.
The one with the
KSG
that-
was good. At,
That,
yeah.
That's the Remington, the top one.
I
forgot the S12
Oh, aye,
The
existed.
Remington was
Aye.
class.
Wait,
No, Remington was the
that
best.
one, there was second one.
Got that in
going from that
gold,
is shit, but that
diamond,
one-
or
I know, see that one.
That
The
was-
see you
was
put
good.
buckshot on the mad KS, whatever it's called.
KSG,
Giro. Aye, that thing was OP as
no, aye,
man.
the
That was a
buckshot with the
sniper-
KSG.
yeah, it was
aye,
like
it
a
was like
sniper, man. You could hit somebody from all the way over there.
I know.
Even people were raging like, how the fuck did he hit me? It was like, no, that was class, man.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I just love those games, man. That's what I mean, but they could have left it in Black Ops 2 and it would have remained like, or even just done like a remastered version of that, and I would.
I hope they
I think-
remaster
I
Black
think-
Ops 2.
The problem with COD is, you know, when it
saw that,
started
I know.
off, the initial kind of it was like, oh, we'll look at different wars. Like, well, it's like, all right, we'll base this game off the Vietnam War.
Aye.
You know, and so eventually they kind of run out. Okay, there was the Cold War one they've done recently, but like they've already made like 2 World War IIs. They've done a World War one, haven't they? It's kind of like, you know, like they either like keep making new versions of the same games, or they do something different. And see, the problem is when they try to do something different, they went futuristic. They went infinite
You know what the
warfare.
problem is, though?
Advanced Warfare.
They're
mate.
gonna do that
No,
again.
because they went advanced warfare and then they went infinite warfare.
They're gonna
And
go to.
infinitely
Oh my God.
was
They're gonna do that
infinitely
again.
worse than every other
Vision.
game.
I'm just saying they're going to do that again because it's got to that stage now where it's like they stopped the futuristics, no one liked it. They done the modern stuff that they're doing right now for the past like 5 of them, and they're then going to go back because I guarantee if you put a Twitter poll out and say would you play a futuristic COD again with jetpacks, I guarantee people would say yeah.
Black
Why-
Ops
why-
3 was a good game.
I hated Advanced
I
They're
didn't mind
Warfare.
Black Ops.
definitely going to
Infinite
remaster
Warfare
Black Ops
bad.
2.
I fucking hope
Black
so.
Ops 4
God,
bad.
can you imagine that? Man?
Black Ops 3 was
eventually.
I'd be so hyped.
Advanced Warfare was so shit, mate. I hate it.
Advanced Warfare was shite. I played it, but it
the
was shite.
snipers, mate. I wanted to throw myself a building. How bad they were. Like the snipers, they were so bad.
Who was
And
in the
just
story
movement.
mode?
I can't even remember. I never played
Kevin
it.
something.
or something.
Kevin
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Aye.
Nonsense.
That says everything about the
Nonce.
game, to be honest, because it's like, nah, mate, Black Ops 2 was not bad.
The maps were pretty cool.
The maps
See,
are-
Redwood.
I think the guns were good.
Yeah.
The maps were quite decent. I didn't. The movement thing was a bit kind of. I don't know. I was not a big fan
like
of it. to be
exosuits
honest.
stuff.
I wasn't a big fan of that, to be honest.
I learned recently that this is bringing it back to James Bond, but on a different note.
Mhm.
That see Inspector. Has anyone seen Spectre?
Yeah, we watched
Aye,
that.
Like the second to last one.
Yeah.
I see the guy that plays Blofeld. It's thingy from like all the Tarantino films.
Oh,
What's his
yeah.
face?
Yeah, I
Can't mind his name.
can't remember his actual
But-
name. Aye.
Apparently, it was initially offered to Kevin Spacey, and the fact that he turned that down is such a big fucking like. Imagine you'd like made your main villain.
Why would you
Blofeld.
turn that down? In a
To
James Bond film.
be fair, he could play a good Nazi. I think.
Is that the guy who plays Dr. Schultz?
Aye.
Yeah. But it was Kevin Spacey that was offered the part. And I apparently turned it down. But I mean, to be fair, I didn't expect it was that good a film. So I don't
It was
necessarily
popular
blame.
enough. Like,
Yeah,
and
I thought
enough
It was
people
popular,
watched
but
it.
but
so-
every James Bond film is going to be like that.
What's
Yeah,
your favourite?
That's the point, man.
What-
That's
what-
why would you turn down an offer to be in a
If you
James
look at the
Bond film?
script and you go, this is going to be a character that people are like, especially if it's Blofeld, because it's like this is a remaster of a character,
Yeah.
and if you think that it's not going to be a good remaster of the character and people are going to hate it, then you don't necessarily want to attach
Aye.
yourself to it.
Yeah, I suppose.
What was your
aye.
favourite James Bond film?
Casino
Okay.
Royale.
Casino Royale was so good.
Of the
Enjoyed
the Daniel Craig era, probably Casino Royale
Aye.
or Skyfall.
Skyfall's
Skyfall
I've
had
not
some
seen
good.
Skyfall.
Skyfall
You've
was
not seen
I've not seen Skyfall or Spectre.
Well, you got to be aligned with Skyfall, and there's no way.
I'm not.
We've watched that before. I
We've
think.
not.
I
We
swear
watched that
have.
on Discord.
We did.
I don't think
We
I watched it,
definitely, we either watched
No, we
Skyfall
did,
or we
we
watched
did.
But I think
Spectre. We
that
watched
might have
one
been the
of
one
them.
where it was like, I muted my mic and I didn't actually watch it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was one of them.
Rat
Because I
bastard.
I think
remember.
it's one of those
Aye. You know, you must know about the
I didn't. I swear to
Scottish
God,
guy
I've
at the end
not.
and all that.
Nope. Swear to fucking God.
Right, God, but
well,
watch that.
again, Kincaid. That's the guy's name at the end. The kind of caretaker.
Aye.
That part was written for Sean Connery.
Oh,
They wanted Sean Connery to play that part, but then I think the director said no, because if they get Sean Connery to play the part, people will be so confused because there's two Bonds on the screen.
What's the most recent one?
The most
No Time to
recent
Die.
is No Time to Die.
We
with-
saw
I've not watched
aye,
that.
That's the
Is
one
that
that I
one
fell
with
asleep
Sammy-
through.
It's the one with
Sammy
Freddie
Nell.
Mercury in it.
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie.
Aye,
I didn't.
Rami Malek.
Aye, Rami Malek. That's
I-
what I was trying to say.
It was too like they built it up. The fucking the
It's
bad
every,
guy.
every Bond film though. I don't think there was enough build up with the bad guy.
The bad guy. There was hardly any of them.
No, I'd
That's what I
say-
mean. There wasn't enough. Like there was not enough to make him. You go, he's a fucking.
There was more bad guys than actually the bad guy.
I'd say it was an alright
Usually.
movie. It's just that I
Mhm.
was like heavily sleep deprived during that time, and
I
I fell
think- I'm
asleep
not gonna lie,
during like
I
the
have-
most like good part.
Yeah.
I think my favorite was probably
Woke up and
either.
was like,
I ever loved Pierce Brosnan. Right name?
Aye, yeah.
Brosnan. Brosnan. He was probably my favorite. I think.
Your favorite Bond?
I think so. I really liked his movies, like the one with like.
I think I like Skyfall. I think it was a fun movie, as much as it was dark elements, because that's Daniel Craig's Bond. He's a very kind of dark.
Skyfall, the one where
gritty-
he's like in
Timothy
like the
Dalton was
ice
pretty good
water.
as well, man.
I didn't like Timothy Dalton.
You don't like him,
What
no?
was the one?
I
that-
hope Henry Cavill's the new one.
I hope Henry Cavill gets
Uh,
something big, because I really like him as an
think
actor
he suits a
and
James
also
Bond.
as a person. 'Cause
What,
he's
what
a
is,
think he's
fucking
a
what is the
gamer.
one with the? Do you know the one with like the
As long as
circus
they're
and that?
English.
What one's that again?
That is it Octopussy?
Is it?
I'm sure Octopussy.
I love
What's
that. That's,
Octopussy?
that's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, it's Bond, mate. It's mate.
They're not Goldfinger.
I didn't even know what you're
Just
talking
try to
about
bring
there.
that back. Yeah.
Goldfinger, like that. This is Bond. That's why I kind of like Skyfall, because there was a lot of kind of like just nostalgic
I
things
liked-
and
Aye.
like it was just fun
Fuck,
because James
Octopussy.
Bond was never like a fucking 100% serious film. It was had
Yeah.
action, but
I
it
mean,
also had a lot of kind of like,
I think-
oh, that's cool.
I'm just shagging in it, man.
I think all he like.
But
I
yeah,
liked
you had like
aye.
you had characters like Pussy Galore, like that was the person's name was Pussy Galore.
Who was the person in No Time to Die show? And she was so fucking fit, man.
Yeah.
The black haired girl.
Oh,
Fucking hell.
fucking
She's in-
Anya de Armas or whatever you call
She was
it.
a
No,
fucking bell.
wait,
man.
is it her?
Aye.
Wait, what?
I don't know if she was in
There's
No
only
Time
the-
to
the
Die,
bar
but
scene.
I know the healthy person that he's talking about. Anyway.
There's always a healthy person in that one
Google
film.
Google
I thought you talking about Halle Berry.
ANADEARMAS.
no, she
Or it
wasn't in
could
No
be.
Time to Die.
Ah.
She was in like one of the.
She was in Die Another
She was
Day.
in like a
Yeah,
Pierce
no.
Brosnan one. I'm pretty sure.
Aye, she was, aye, look.
Wait, say again.
ANA.
Off man.
Putting up pictures of Halle Berry. No?
I mean, what? That's Halle Berry.
Nah,
then.
it wasn't her.
But no,
Wasn't her?
like
No.
James
No,
Bond
she was
films.
in James Bond. I swear to God. See if she's not. I swear. To
I
God.
swear.
She might have been
Well,
in
no, she
Spectre or
wasn't in No
something.
Time to Die.
I think she. Let's see her. She was in. I'm sure she was in Spectre.
All right. Okay.
But because is she not the one? She's like the oldest Bond girl, I think.
Seeing
And like,
I'm a
when
big
it's
fan of the
filmed.
old. All of the old
sure.
ones I like, and
I
then
know
I
she
like.
was
I
in
like
Blade Runner. That's all I know.
Mm.
I like the older ones, and then I like obviously like Pierce Brosnan ones, like Die Another Day or what the fuck it's called. Never.
But
Die Another
there's
Day.
something like so kind of. I mean, there's something horrific about Bond films, but like at the same time, I don't think they're not quite Austin Powers parody level, but there's an element to them that is kind of parody.
I agree with that. I think there's
Like,
something ridiculous about
the
it.
first like James Bond film that was based off the books was a comedy film, and then they made this more serious films like Doctor No was the first like actual James Bond film. But like even then, there's
That
still
person. She was in the new one.
That's the same person.
It's fucking not.
Hey,
Oh, it
where's
is.
the bottom bit?
Oh, it is. She didn't look the same in the other one.
Well, people change.
But no, I think James Bond's one of these films that is like if they bring out a new one, people are going to watch it regardless.
Aye, true.
You know what my favourite thing, chewing the fat, the James Bond sketch.
Aye.
They've got pure weird names and all. Like,
But that's it. Everyone was kind of like it wasn't like of the time people were like, oh, that's a normal name.
I think her naming is
Like people at the time were like that's a fucking stupid name. But
I think in that
Go well.
sketch the lassie's called something like Clator or something like that.
Clitor.
I know
I'm not. It's like Iris Clator or something.
well, if it's the last one that's just like so like fucking.
He's got that.
I'm sure Burniston did a sketch of it as well. Like,
They may
was-
have done. There was a one where like it's chewing the fat and he goes, well, her name's Bond, James Bond, and he's like, and then she loses his money. He's like, yeah, fucking stupid bitch. You can lost the money and all that. It was funny as fuck, man.
There's a new Western coming out.
What?
Ooh.
Guess the cast. It's a fucking banging.
Right.
Guess the cast.
It's a fucking banging.
Is it a modern Western or is it kind of like old?
It's just a normal, like a Django Western. It's just a fucking
It's a
Western.
Western.
I don't know.
Jamie Foxx in it?
What the fuck's a modern Western?
Like there's different
Well,
styles of
this
Western.
is Jack going modern westerns because it's got black people in it.
No,
Aye.
no.
Except that one was good though. The harder they fall.
No, I'm
Enjoyed
talking.
that.
No,
That's
a modern
what it's
western
called.
is the type of style that the westerns in. You get spaghetti westerns and you get fucking modern westerns.
well, it's just a normal, like,
spaghetti westerns
fucking-
were like westerns that were made by Italian film companies. That's
Aye.
why it was a spaghetti
But
western.
that's why it's got a different style.
But a modern western is just a western made in the modern day.
Aye, it's
So
just a
it
western.
is a
It's a
modern
modern
No, but you,
western.
get, you can get different types. That doesn't matter.
It's just a number. Right.
Aye.
Who do you think the cast is? There's
Jamie-
two main people who are the main
Jamie
guys.
Foxx in it.
Nah.
Okay.
It's good, but
Is it really well known actress?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ezra Miller.
nah.
The Flash.
It's actually a fucking
The Flasher.
banging main characters. Two main characters.
Mm.
It's
Let
coming
me-
out next year.
Let me think. Is it young guys or we got older guys?
Clint
Semi old,
Eastwood.
aye.
Mid.
Clint
Nah,
Eastwood looks like
Who's the-
Clint
who's the-
Eastwood
who's
should
the
be in
director?
a
Who's the
no by
director?
now.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Is Leonardo in it?
Nah.
Is
two
Idris
more.
in it?
Brad Pitt.
Idris Elba in it?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Is
I
it?
don't know. Tom Cruise.
Nah.
I don't fucking know.
Is it?
Tommy.
Wait.
I don't know one of the guy's name, but you'll know from the movies. I'm gonna say.
Is it that
Hornswoggle?
guy? It's not the guy for
The Big
the
Show.
Kingsman, is it?
Nah.
No. Okay, I mean I don't know.
The
him.
fucking
Aaron
Dr.
Egerton.
Schultz guy.
Oh, is he in it?
He's
Ah,
one
right.
of the main
Okay.
characters,
Class.
and Willem Dafoe.
Mate, Willem Dafoe
Wow,
in a
mate.
Western.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's-
Right,
Mm-hmm.
I really
That sounds
want.
good.
That sounds good, but it
Oh.
sounds strange.
I really want William Dafoe to play the
I'm
Joker one
excited.
day. I really want it to
I
happen.
completely
Well,
forgot.
well,
Was it
the
not me that
Northman.
said that, and you said no?
There's a-
Someone
there's a
said
No,
no.
Joker.
I wanted it to happen.
Oh, aye, Willem
disagreed.
Dafoe would be a
Someone
class
disagreed with
Joker.
me.
He reacted to that and he said like he's like he's like it's great that I'm like
Like that you've put my name for this, but like
he's a sociopath.
but no, I mean there's Joker 2 coming out.
Aye.
Folly Ado or something like that.
What
With
is it?
Lady Gaga. It's going to be a musical apparently.
Okay, well, the first one was kind. Well,
most
it
of
wasn't
it's
a
going to be
musical,
set
but
at
like,
Arkham Asylum. That's the idea.
not really.
Well, because obviously that's where the last one
Joker
finished.
one was fucking good, man. I
Joker
like
was a
both
really
of
good
them.
film, but I think it got picked up by the business accounts of Instagram for their captions. What were we looking at?
Oh, no, Willem
That's the-
Dafoe on
Oh,
a
it's
horse.
a-
art
it's a
thing.
Western.
It's called Dead for $1
That's
When's
nice.
it coming
Good
out?
name and all, man.
next year.
Oh.
There's not even a trailer yet.
See the thing
How
is
is
about
there that?
westerns. See the cowboy
Who's there
era.
that?
There's a poster
Mhm.
for it.
The cowboy.
Oh,
But
okay,
that's
okay,
it.
yeah,
the,
right,
the
yeah.
actual like cowboy era of like the Midwest and stuff.
I love
That
Westerns.
lasted about 20 years.
It wasn't that long.
It wasn't like they were kicking about for 50 years. It was like 20 years in history, and that was it.
It's mad.
It's why it's so like romanticized. I think like, people just like
Western movies
like
are
it.
so good.
yeah, like people think about it because of the movies, but like
Yeah.
it actually wasn't a long period in history
Plus-
at all.
Cowboys weren't even that bad.
If the Marlboro Man was still like getting advertised, so many people would still smoke. I can guarantee that.
Well, I mean, cowboys are just like
So-
cowboys literally are just like cow herds,
Aye.
but it's
Rangers.
it's the outlaws you think of.
The thing is,
cattle
the
rustlers,
thing is, what
like-
gunslingers were a thing, but notice the mad thing about gunfights. They lasted like ages. Like you know how like, in the movies, like one
Fucking
shot,
stormtrooper, then,
one
man.
shot deed man, right? They were actually like it was actually close range, mate. They just go, they start shooting, and then they
You know who
reload
I've
and
like
Hold on, my gun's jammed.
all that. No, that's what you start running about and just start
Like the
trying to
fucking
load your gun. There.
Gunpowder in the end of your
Guns would
revolver.
fail. Guns
The
would fail
musket
in that.
man, like one bullet every 10 minutes, man.
No, it wasn't realistic. I
fucking
mean,
Nah.
if you shot somebody point blank, like, you probably wouldn't die. Like,
Like I think if you were smart, if you were using muskets, you would just fucking like
Yeah.
let them fire and then just run over to them and stab
Aye.
them with a bayonet in the end.
do you know when me toy gun?
Aye,
You know
yeah.
when toy guns used to get? It was like the wee red one. You'd
Oh,
bang
the
it.
one with the caps
strap-
on it.
aye, the
Cap
the
guns.
cap
Oh
guns.
yeah, like the wee
That's
like
Your mum
BBs,
used to
but it
work
was a cap.
where I'd.
That's
You
like the
always had the
equivalent.
cap guns.
I had a blue one.
Oh, you got it from where your mum worked.
I can't even remember
Aye,
that.
they make a
Definitely
lot
you
I
of
remember I have got one, but I don't know.
I remember I was like, "Can you get us one?"
Imagine putting like a wee
Never had.
pebble on that and try.
They were of the same kind of like era of like you remember the wee things you could buy from the similar shops.
You'd throw on the floor.
Oh.
You knew exactly what I was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they'd snap.
They're
They were
annoying.
fucking fun, man.
They're annoying, but because you're technically just littering it.
Dance ball.
I was at the train station then.
But
and
Jack,
then
come on, put yourself in a fucking kid's mind. Don't
Aye,
go.
fuck's sake.
The fucking kids are littering.
I know, but it's
See
so
when you were a
annoying.
wee guy and you're like fucking the
It's
power of
only
Zeus
a-
is in my
Aye,
hands.
It's only gunpowder and paper, man. Like
Yeah.
it's not.
I
It's
know,
not
but
really littering, man. Like
It's
the,
biodegradable.
by the next rainstorm, it's
Is
all
it really,
disappeared.
though?
Aye, it's paper.
Paper.
I was at the train station. Then again, it was the underground, so it wouldn't have
A rat would have eaten it,
disintegrated
it's
as
fine.
fast because
it
the
was-
rain
it
would
wasn't
have
a
A rat
rat
got
would
to
have
it.
eaten it.
You were saying
rat
that the
would
kids
eat
were
it,
using them, but it was normally just
Like-
wee fannies, man. Like, heavy launching at people. That was
Aye,
Aye,
but
so there was
Close
always
enough,
one
man.
there was always one dick that would try and chuck it at somebody.
Aye, that's people would chuck it off.
Aye, there was
Like,
like
that was like
the-
in school when you get in snow. It was like you go outside. Oh yeah, let's just get a fucking ice cube ball and throw it. At a
oh, aye,
some
aye,
people-
right
there was
on
like,
Bongo.
like, see when there was
Man,
see when there was
full of
actual
stones.
snow, it was like okay, cool, we'll have a snowball fight. But see when it was just like
Ice
oh,
and
this
Mate,
is all that's left.
I'm
is a
not
big
joking.
chunk
I
of
remember somebody launched
stupid.
an ice thing and I picked it up and it was actually like a
Aye.
fucking boulder, mate. And
Solid
somebody
ball, man.
launched it and it like people were getting hit by this shit and I was like, man, that's probably gonna give somebody a
ice.
concussion.
Yeah,
I don't know
Killer
how
Cup,
more
man.
like things never happened in secondary school with
Aye, I
people
know.
actually getting like concussions and fucking brain damage and stuff like that from the amount of things that got launched during that time.
Oh.
school was just so fucked. Like I don't know. People say, "Oh, would you like to go back to school and like do that again?" It's like maybe yeah, because I'd go in with the knowledge that it doesn't matter as much as I thought it did at the time,
Yeah,
and I
that's
can
true.
kind of be more chill about it. But at the same time, like there was so much that was fucked. Did we ever tell the story of the condom thieves? I don't think we
Don't think
have
so.
on this
I think that
podcast.
happened.
Don't we want to bring it out? It's a bit embarrassing, is it not?
Ah, but
Like,
it's
man, all the
But it's a
time.
good fucking
Something
story though.
No.
I mean, we won't mention who it
We
was.
won't say names, but like basically, so we were talking about school lunches earlier.
Mm.
And the alternative to having a school lunch or bringing a packed lunch was to go to the shops, which was, as it suggests, leaving school at lunchtime, walking to the nearest shop and getting the shittiest noodles for the cheapest price.
You had a selection of 3 shops.
But for
35p,
for our school, there was basically you could
35.
walk.
I think so. Or 70. Oh,
So it was 70p for
yeah,
noodles.
yeah.
I not 35.
But you could either walk up the hill to one shop, or you could walk up another hill behind the school to another shop, which was a kind of a bit of a trek.
I
But it
never
was,
went though.
but it was a chippy. There was a chippy up there, so it was
Oh,
actually
aye.
decent. Yeah.
Aye.
Used to go to
okay.
the blue.
Or
Yeah.
you could go down
Bluebird.
out to that road, and there was a co-op,
Aye,
and
the
there
co-op.
was a wee cafe there as well.
Mm.
But but the co-op basically, you'd go there and you'd get like fucking fridge raiders or something. Like the co-op was harder to like. See if you had
I
like
used to always get a big
£2.
baguette of bread.
Or
man.
lighters,
Oh, the tiger
breadsticks, and
bread, tiger
condoms.
bread.
So good.
Yeah, like
We've done it.
£2. You couldn't really. You could get like a full meal and fucking dessert from the shop up the hill
Yeah.
for £2. Like
Aye.
it was always, what can you do with your money? It was always like, oh, there's a 35p energy drink, 70p
Yes.
noodles, and a fucking 50p chocolate bar sorted.
It's so unhealthy, man.
Oh, it was very unhealthy. I don't know how I'm not dead.
I'd
don't
always
know how
go to
I'm not dead,
Davies,
man.
but see if I went to the co-op, my main my main goal from going to the co-op was buying the donuts, throwing them at the seagulls, and watching the seagulls try and deep throat the whole fucking donut all in one. So it was like you were paying for entertainment at that point.
I remember somebody threw like a mobile phone at a seagull.
Jack,
and it broke his leg.
I didn't want to say who, but
It launched the phone.
So
It hit the seagull's leg. The seagull had no reaction apart from just lifting the leg. So it was just standing in one leg. Like it didn't even look in the direction. It just stood there with one leg.
Seagulls are funny, but
Like I love seagulls.
so we just look up and go.
I remember
fucking
watching
make a
out
noise.
the window in like an English class or whatever, and then the seagull. No, the thing the
I
seagulls
was
do
gonna
where
say
they
it was
tap
always cyber. We would sit in cyber and look out the back window,
Aye.
and you could see them just on the ground, just doing the.
They would do the
foot
tap
thing
dance so
to get the
the
worms,
worms would come up, and then
To be honest, like the worst thing I seen a seagull do is it was literally cannibalizing a fucking crow or something.
Oh no, seagulls are evil.
The
Man.
worst thing
They're
a seagull
terrible.
done was shit on me.
Oh, I happened to
I
me as
get-
well.
I
It happened
get
to me-
showered
it
in
happened to me
shower.
as well.
Like, see the wee
Really
black
that.
V-necks that you had. So you'd wear a
Yeah,
shirt and a
yeah,
tie,
yeah.
and you get a
Aye.
V-neck. I had one of them covered in bird shit once. I was coming back from the shops,
That's unlucky.
and I had to basically take it off, like wrap it up and put it in my school bag.
Mate, I can't notice. You're walking out of school and you just see a bit of shit land like right next to you. Like, I'm
You
like,
could dive bomb.
I think it was so much worse because it was literally as I got to the school. Like I was about to go in the door and just shout on.
no.
It could have been worse. It could have been in my hair. It could
No,
have been in my face.
yeah,
but like,
I-
thankfully, it was all contained on the one
I
jumper.
probably would rather it be in my face, I think, because it's easy to wash off. But if it's on your clothes,
No,
mate,
I
it's
would not.
stained.
Fuck that,
Nah,
man.
mate, the
No,
clothes it can just go in the
if it's
washing
on your
machine.
clothes, yeah,
like
just
the
go in
clothes
the
Like,
washing
it'll
machine.
come right off instead of
Mate, I'm not walking into the school with a bit of
Jesus
shite
Christ.
down my
Yeah,
face.
I'm
man.
not walking to the bathroom where people can visibly see that I've got bird shit.
If it's on me,
face.
fair enough. I'll
If
take
I
it off the
get
school,
it on-
give you a free one,
If I
probably.
get it on the sweatshirt, man, it's going right in the bag, wrapped up, so it never can get seen again by anyone. It goes right in the washing machine when I get home, and then I'm sound. If it goes in the face, then that's a
Mate,
different
imagine
matter.
what
getting
you're
a
gonna do,
fucking
but you're
pink
gonna
eye
just-
from a seagull.
Oh, mate, you're.
Like if you, it's like, what the fuck's up with your eye? It's like, oh, I just get shat on.
I just
Like,
get
dripped
jobby
into
in my
my eye.
eyeball, you know, just a common occurrence.
Fucking
you know.
eyeball.
And then as you plastered with that right through school,
Aye,
you're,
it's a
you're
jobby
fucking,
eye,
I
yes,
know.
jobby eye.
fucking stinky eye.
I see. You guys are wild, man.
The
That's
good
the new Bond film,
The good
Stinky
old
Eye.
nicknames.
Oh, stinky eye. Oh, mate, up here.
But no, there was basically one of the times it was like a solid like 2 or 3 weeks when we were co-op loyals. We decided that was the point. It was like, right, we're going to the shops and we're going to the co-op for this 2 weeks. Sometimes you'd mix up, but this was like a solid block of co-op, and we'd go down and it was harder to find things to like scrape your money, but it was also kind of interesting. It was like what was the game show on TV, Supermarket Sweep, where you had to go and like fucking
Oh, and grab everything.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
it was like that. It was like look for things that were like £1 or under
Yeah.
sort of thing. It was like what interesting things can we buy. So it was always like things out of the bakery. Like
What was the meal deal, man? The sandwich meal deal was what I would always get in the co-op.
I'm not a meal deal guy. You see, I never take a meal deal sandwich.
I've never done that either, to be fair.
Yeah,
I've done
I'm-
it before.
There's
but
always
not-
get mayo on it, not butter.
I'd always get the ham mustard sandwich.
You always came to fucking school with that. Big Liz would make that.
Ginster
I don't know why
sausage
people
roll.
were against that. Jack Barman that were talking to me about that, and he was like, you know what, fucking mustard sandwiches are fucking class. Or it was you.
Aye, ham and mustard
It
is
was
a good
you. It
combo.
wasn't Jack. Aye.
To
See,
be honest,
Mustard
He
is
agrees with
fine.
me.
Mustard, mayo is where I draw the line.
See, mustard
I
and
like
ham.
eggs, but
I got
mayo.
terrorized throughout all of school for fucking 6 years because I had mustard and ham
My
sandwich, mate.
negative opinion is only formed because I've never had one.
Exactly.
That's like most people though.
So you can't judge it.
We just get our.
You can't say it's shite.
I still think it's
I'll
shite.
make you one after this.
Make me one. Okay.
I'll make you a ham sandwich.
But no, ham and mustard is a
Ham and mustard
known combo. But no, so we would go down. But there was also some other people that went down along with us, and they discovered that the co-op sell condoms.
Oh, I
I forgot we're still talking about that.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
me.
I'm coming
That's
back.
like
for
10
this.
minutes ago.
I know.
Fucking hell.
I just thought I'd bring it back round.
Aye, I
It's
forgot
10
that.
past 5. Just for the.
Aye, well,
Just for the record.
we'll wrap up soon.
Yeah,
Aye,
that's
get
fine.
this. So I want this.
Like the
So,
I
condom
need
chat.
this.
So we discovered that well, not we, other people discovered
It was none of
that it
us.
was condoms. It wasn't us. Well, as the
No,
police
it wasn't.
records show, it wasn't us.
It wasn't. It
Oh
wasn't.
yeah, there was a police record. That's all.
Well, we'll come to that. So basically,
God, man.
so
funny.
what these people were doing was thinking, well, the co-op staff, they sit at the till, they can't actually see down the aisles. So if we grab these condoms, which were like £6 for some reason, even though you can get them free out the sexual health clinic, just for people that want to know,
It was Sandy.
go Sandyford to get free shit. You can maybe get it like mailed to you as well. I'm not sure.
No, you can.
You can. Jade. Fucking.
Yeah. Save yourself some money when you're shagging. Don't risk a child.
Get
And
the-
don't fucking risk an STD.
risk
The
a child.
Passante
They done it by
ones.
surprise, man. They
Like,
showed
there's
up to
not-
McDonald's, like,
There's
with the
nothing
voices.
wrong with going to a sexual health clinic. That's just like stigma.
Just saving a few bucks, you know. There's
Yeah.
a
Fucking
cost of living
living
crisis
all that,
and stuff
man.
on. You know,
No.
you need some of the
I
Passante
showed up-
ones.
I
Mum
showed
say.
up that pair.
Like a
sus
condom's
packet.
a condom.
Right.
But anyway, the fucking money saving experts that would go to the co-op decided, you know what? It would be quite funny if we just like took some condoms, because these people were like 13, 14, around that age.
I think we're older than that.
Oh, what?
Probably,
I were
like
like
16. Probably
16.
15, 16.
It wasn't
like
even a
S4.
sake of taking the condoms for the sake
the
of having
money.
sex, safe
No,
sex.
they weren't going to have sex with
It
these
was a sake
condoms.
of taking the condoms.
It was
because
like,
good
ha-ha.
meme. Haha.
I mean, I got
Haha.
given one and it went to fair use
Oh, yeah.
to myself.
It's okay.
Oh, you're having a fucking posh
Posh
wank.
wank.
I did, mate. I tried it.
That's
I love the way
so-
that's the...
I
That's
don't give a
the
fuck.
I forgot about that. I remember you
That-
said that to me next day. Like I just used it.
for those that want to know, that is the term for having a wank with a condom on. It's referred to locally as a posh wank.
Like a universal term. Does that like?
I don't think it's
I don't-
universal, because I think there's other people use different terms for it, like a fancy wank.
No, it's so funny, right?
But we always called it a posh wank.
It's funny how his immediate reaction to getting that was just to use it for that purpose.
Mate, of course it was. I was a horny fucking 16-year-old.
Yeah, it's not like you were going out shagging.
I'm going home.
I mean,
Like,
unless
exactly.
you were going to like Word Up or some shit, man, and there was
It's 16?
Aye, 16, aye.
Unless you had the fake ID, man, there was really no
Yeah,
chance
no,
of that
man,
happening.
you'd be
You would
caught
not.
red-handed, man.
Mate, see, if I was 16, I walked to the Word Up bouncers, mate. It's not happening.
Even at a
It's
gaff at that
just
age,
not
if you were
happening.
shagging, it was a bit of a riddy.
It's not even a bit of a ready. That is just like fair play. Mate.
Nah, I don't know.
It just reminds me of a situation that happened.
But aye, so these people thought, right, I'll save a bit of dosh, and this is funny, haha meme.
Aye.
I'll pick
God.
up this box of condoms.
Yeah.
I will stick it in my school bag, and then I'll go around the corner to the till and pay for the other stuff. And so it was like, okay, they're getting away with this, and it's like, and we're like, why did you buy a box of condoms? We're like, but I didn't. I took it, and
They're-
nobody saw.
They revealed it.
You know, stupidly thinking, oh, maybe there's not CCTV
Aye,
cameras,
they're fucking
or people maybe don't do stock checks. So sure enough, say 2 weeks down the line, they've been doing this
fucking daily.
Wait a bit,
on the
Like
daily.
the
I
daily.
actually think I think it was daily. Like I really
It
think it
was.
was daily.
And so they've probably noticed, you know, we have no condoms, but nobody's bought condoms today.
Mate, they were a lot of money
Yeah.
though, mate. They were
And
like
so they-
£14
Aye,
or
they
something.
were a
they
lot of money.
It was like a £5, £6 for a box
Uh-huh.
No, but they
of
bought,
6.
they would, so no, at the start they got the small ones. Eventually upgraded to the fucking box loads, which were like 10 to 15, like around about that.
No, I don't.
No, it was they had the red because it so they stole the red ones.
The red
Which
ones,
was-
the red ones were the extra thin.
Aye, and then they started stealing. See, they like big green. Had those green and yellow. I think.
No, it was
like
blue.
boxes.
Blue was the extra safe.
Aye,
There was the extra thin and the extra safe.
What were the normal ones?
but they probably racked up probably like 50 quid or something like that.
But they were taking like a box each every day. So you know the co-op staff are probably thinking, how do we need to keep resupplying condoms when nobody's came in to buy condoms today? And so they checked the CCTV footage, and sure enough, lunchtime it's like, oh fuck, these wee fannies are taking condoms. And so we go down one day. They also go down, and yeah, we're sitting. They do their usual, grab some condoms. We're out the shop earlier,
Fuck's
right?
sake.
And we're walking up, and when you're walking up the hill, there's 2 ways to walk up the hill. You could either walk up through some stairs in a forest, and it takes you up to a wee tiny street, which takes you
That's the way
next
we
to
always
school.
went.
I never went any other way apart from that.
Same.
Or you could go the other way, which was like down, round, and through the pavements on
never
the
did
more
that.
mainstream streets.
you know, I never went that.
I
see, that
never
day, I
went
never
that
went.
way.
I never went that day.
I've walked a couple of times that way, but this was
That was one day I didn't go when the poll showed up.
but they decided to go that day, and so we went the other way, and then, so we split off, and we're just walking up the hill. We get up to the school through the school gates, and we're walking up the hill to the school because once you get through the gates, there was a wee hill, and basically the next minute we see a police van,
Embarrassing, man.
the police van like driving past. We're like, who the fuck are they here for? Thinking somebody's done something in the school.
Someone's
Because
like dealing drugs or
happened,
something
Aye,
it
like that.
happened
Yeah.
before. I mean, it's
Asian,
it's an area with a lot of like drug
Aye,
dealing,
exactly.
etc.
Yeah.
Especially at that age, you know. And so it wasn't completely like a surprise, but you're kind of thinking, well, what's going to be the news story today? And the next minute, it stops at the front door, and they open the door, only to see the culprits, the condo thieves, who will remain nameless, but I think it is on a record or
It's so
something,
fucking hilarious.
getting out. And we were like, wait, what? And
That was so fun. Imagine like you're there, you open the door opens and you just see them, and they would have been like, you would.
I'd need to,
Starstruck,
I'd need to pinch myself, man. I'd be
Because
like,
I would think that
dream.
would have been real because like man, they'd just be sitting there with their backs on.
Aye.
So I'd be like pure sad in the back.
well, the
Fucking
thing you have
20
to think
condoms in
about
the
is
bag,
they
man.
get dropped off at the school. The police took them into the school, and they would then have to.
Yeah, getting one.
Police would then have to say to the school, "We've had to lift these boys
Oh my god, man.
Shit, man.
because they were stealing condoms from the co-op."
Oh, it's,
I don't know how they lived with themselves for the rest of the school life, mate.
No,
Knowing that
that
those
is the
teachers
biggest
probably
funny,
knew what
it's
they'd
quite
done.
funny about it before.
Yeah, that's a good
Like
point.
that would have spread between all the teachers.
Aye,
like,
in
of
the staff
everything-
room,
They
man,
done
that would
that.
have been a good meme in the staff room.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Oh, I think they must have had a laugh about that.
It wasn't just the condoms; it was breadsticks and all, man. There was the breadsticks and the lighters and
You'd
the condoms.
smoke
That
the
was
breadsticks.
You get the
Yeah, they used
breadstick.
to-
you
they used
snap
to
it in half. You'd
smoke
light the end
breadsticks.
of the breadstick
Get
and
cancer.
you'd inhale
I remember
the
I
breadstick
got
for
fucking
no-
Dylan in that
I
invited
think
me
the
out to
breadsticks
smoke
were
some
stolen.
breadsticks in the
I think the
forest.
breadsticks were.
No, breadsticks were stolen.
Breadsticks were one of these affordable things that you would look around the shop and go, "What's under £1?"
Ah, yeah, I think so.
And breadsticks were like 60p or something.
No,
So
what's the
retarded.
funny thing though? I remember
Smoke a breadstick.
one of the boys like
Junkie
he
later.
was walking up right before he got lifted, but the thing is I think they fell out his bag or something, right? The one of the packets gone fell out his bag, so seen the police lifted him, they immediately searched his bag and they weren't there.
Mate, searching that bag.
So
man.
that must have like thrown him off because they obviously must have seen that like they were taking him, and then he was there and he has
He's ditched it.
went through the fucking hole of a bag.
It was clearly a fucking sting operation though,
It
because
was
like they basically
not a
the
movie.
co-op had obviously informed the police, "Listen, this is happening,"
Aye.
and then probably when it happened that day, they probably said right. But the police were clearly sitting there waiting.
Right, they were. Aye.
But actually, I'll also talk about a similar story and just this will be the last story. But from another shop, the shop up the hill where you could get the cheap noodles,
Oh, aye.
owned by Davey, right?
I've heard this so many
Right,
times.
okay, aye.
I know
There
what's
was
happening.
this was one of the funniest fucking things. That basically what people used to do was they'd eat like half of the noodles, which came in a wee paper cup, and they would then decide rather than wait till we get to the bottom of this hill and chuck it in the bin, we'll just put it over somebody's car or we'll drop it on the pavement.
No, it was a case of buying one noodle cup so you could eat the whole thing, and then buying another one for the sake of holding
Just
it like
throwing
that and just booting it so it would go just
Fuck's
rock
sake.
up all
God,
over
man.
somebody's car in the middle of winter, so all the noodle juice would freeze to the car.
So
So that's how it worked.
I remember one day, and the funny thing was, this isn't somebody that would usually do it. We were sitting walking back from the shops, and clearly from previous days, I think somebody had tipped noodles over somebody's car bonnet
Yeah.
or something.
Oh, God, man.
And so the headmaster had decided to go incognito mode.
Oh yeah, with his
put-
personalised number plate,
He'd
you know,
put,
it was
he'd
very
put the
incognito.
private browser on, and he'd left the school in his car, driven along the road and parked.
Yeah.
Super secret
So you
spy
could
mode.
These devils had a pure
see-
ego like, I'm James Bond.
You
Like,
see the number plate, and you knew exactly which car it was, but he thought he was James
Well-
Bond.
well,
this is a different story.
This
might I
is a
add.
different story to the one you're thinking
Right,
of.
okay.
Because
Aye,
to the
aye,
one you
aye.
were there.
Aye.
But this was we're walking back from the shops, me and a few guys, and this guy decides I'm done with my noodles. There's still some left.
Uh-huh.
I shall quite clearly drop it on the ground.
Oh.
The next minute, like fucking Mike Myers, he appears above the car door, staring him down,
Oh.
and he knows what
Oh, I
he
could,
knows
like,
what he's
see
done. He
that
knows
one,
what he's
that's scary.
witnessed, and and basically the headmaster just goes, "Excuse me, son. I hope you're not littering there." Basically, it's kind of like, well,
Right far, man.
yeah, it was a bit of a wank.
not.
It was a bit of a wank.
was
the
a wank.
headmaster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so-
very.
I didn't really have anything against him, but he was just a bit of a wank.
It was, mate. No, it was a definition of a wank, mate.
And and so the next minute he's basically having to go, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. I dropped him by accident." I was like, very good, son, very good.
Oh,
So you did a likely story,
Oh.
and we're sitting, and obviously we're still holding it. I was like, okay, class.
No, it's
It's
funny.
quite funny.
My brother had him as our head teacher as well. And he's
Aye.
like, when I told him the
Really?
name, he was like, he is a fucking wank. That's what he said. Anyway,
Well,
continue.
it was he was one because basically our secondary school was quite new.
That's
So
my-
he
that's
was
my
like
older-
one of the headmasters of the two schools.
This is I'm older brother.
Yeah.
Was there one before him? No.
No, he was the
No, he
first.
was the first
for,
one.
for
Okay, that makes
school.
sense, right? Aye, okay.
But he was at a school before doing it.
And if
Yeah,
you're watching
okay.
this, you're a wank.
But
And I'm still saying
this
He's
it's
guy,
not
this
retired,
guy,
man.
this
He
guy,
doesn't give a shit, man.
This guy basically then gets put in the back of the headmaster's car and driven back to school to get fucking reprimanded, and we were pissing ourselves laughing.
I don't think he got put in the back of the car, did he?
No. Is it?
I thought he just came out and he was
Who was
like,
I can't remember who it is. Either.
Whisper.
Just say a letter. Just say a letter and I'll know.
No, because I don't know who.
"Oh,
I'm
who
asking
do you
them.
think it was? I don't know if I wasn't here during this time."
Yeah, I don't think you were there. I don't think any.
I wasn't there.
Well, what was it? Don't say the name. Just say the
I'll
letter.
say the first name because that's what they do on BBC News.
Aye,
If there's an
first name it
8-year-old.
won't matter.
Lewis.
Oh, what? Really?
Wait,
Oh,
really?
oh,
With a
never
G?
mind, man.
Wait, I actually do
Really?
remember this now. I do remember.
I was not
this.
expecting that one.
I do remember this.
He dropped his noodles, and I don't think he'd actually been one of the ones that had been like tipping
Oh,
over
that's
cars and
right.
stuff.
No, he wasn't even the culprit, man. I know who the culprit
Yeah, no,
was.
you know who the culprit
Right, okay,
was, but
aye.
this was somebody completely different.
Aye,
But he
okay.
was on stakeout missions because of the other person.
No, I was
and
there
caught this
during the
person
second.
dropping
Oh,
the
okay.
Right,
noodles.
okay.
So he put him in the back of the car and drove him up to the school, and we were howling.
That is so funny, mate.
But it was so like the shops were quite funny, to be fair, just for
I
things
enjoyed
like
that.
Oh,
That's like-
I miss
see
those
that?
days, man.
Like,
They were
Just
good.
wee fans.
You're never
man.
getting that back.
Aye, I know.
You're just
But
wee
I
dicks,
never
but-
get that.
see now I can
It's actually sad.
sympathise with the fucking residents of that street
Oh, mate.
because that must have been horrendous.
I miss.
No,
See
man.
that street when you walk out the school.
Mate.
You just walk along that street.
Mhm.
I miss like
Mate,
going to the shops.
do you remember the incident that happened with me and somebody else?
Frosty and icy.
Do you remember that? It happened to me, I know. See, I was walking with, I won't say who, but I was walking with
I know
somebody.
what
You know what I'm talking about, right? And he done that to somebody's car. He fucking noodle bombed a car, right? And I remember he done that. You know where the tree is in the middle?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was, right? So he done that, and I was like, I actually said like, why the fuck did you do that? And it was a nice car. It was a pure belter of a car, like a pure nice.
It was a blue, wasn't it?
Pure blue sports car. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So like, I told Jack, they said name her. I told him to start walking. And I remember we got to like just literally at the gates of the school, mate, and just fucking all of a sudden, man, I've got my bag on, my coat, man, and just get fucking dragged. Somebody dragged me, and I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
It made me shit myself. I was like, what the f-? I couldn't get
Fuck,
Norman to
aye.
get his arm. I was like, what the
Aye.
fuck, you? I was like, what are you doing? And then he's like, you fuck. It's like, I can't remember what it says. Like, you fucking me arseholes and that. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And well, I just knew what he was talking about, but I said, what you talking about? I was like, and then he's like,
Deny.
he's like, go clean the arm. I was like, clean what? It wasn't fucking me. I was pure anger and all, man. A guy was built like a shit ton fucking brick house, but I was still.
Mate, he lives literal.
Yeah, they've got
Right
a separate house. I know.
I swear they're pure mafia boys.
I didn't really blame him, but I
Yeah.
was like, tell him, mate, you can't just go grabbing kids, mate. I'm literally a fucking teen, mate. I was
Should
trying.
have just screamed rape.
I couldn't. In my mind, I was like,
No,
what the
true,
fuck?
that would've worked.
The thing is, I was confused at the time. Like, what the? Like, it had a big massive.
But that's the
body.
thing. It's like you're not expecting it, so it's like
No, that's
you
what
don't
I mean.
even think about what to do.
That's what I mean. I thought I was getting fucking kidnapped. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, but
Get in my van,
but then
the
it took
G-Wagon,
us both back, and I didn't actually need to go. I could have just left, but like I just went
Sit
in
there
case
anyway.
fucking somebody's getting smashed or something. Even though I'm not going to do it anyway, he's fucking massive. But so they made him like clean up and that, and he was like, oh, why'd you do that and all that? And I said to him, I didn't fucking do anything. I was
Aye, just walking.
just walking with the person. But also, I think when it happened, like he must have just seen my coat or something.
Aye,
and he's
he's
just like,
probably just clocked it. Like,
he
oh,
just clocked it, and
Corner of
but he ran a fucking mile. Like, he ran all the way along there just to catch up and grab me. And I'm like, fuck. I was like, aye, mate. Next time, just tap us on the shore and go, can you go clean that fucking up, please?
Aye.
Not fucking grab me like I'm getting fucking taken by the
but you
man.
get-
Imagine having to take your car to a car wash because it's covered in frozen noodles, man. Like,
No,
that
but
would not be the best
imagine having
situation.
to do that and then the next day having to do it again.
Oh yeah,
Aye,
and
again.
I thought it was quite. I think
Like,
it was quite harmless. So it's not like it was
Going
really, like,
to
break
Halfords
it.
for your MOT and fucking they open the bonnet and there's just noodles all over it. 'Cause
Aye,
it slid
mate.
down the back of your.
I mean, I never had. I always had my packed lunch, but I was just.
I mean,
I always knew it was going to catch up this Sunday or something.
That's
Yeah.
me. I never dropped my noodles. Because I
never-
always ate them.
I always ate them. My mind's got
Yeah,
Yeah,
scrambled.
I'd always be eating them like right up to like the
The gate.
There was
the
a
gate,
technique.
what I
to
did.
it.
and then
I
there would be
remember
the
something.
bin
No,
right there
I remember people
anyway,
would just
so-
like it was kind of funny the way it happened, but like it would just like splat like on the car, like it'd be like a whole cup, and it would just.
But there was always a technique with the noodles, and you'd come out the shop, and so what you would do is there was always excess liquid,
yeah.
and so you had to stir them first because there was always the saltier ones on top, and so you had to stir them, get the liquid nice and mixed.
You drink the liquid.
No,
Right, okay.
Some people did.
No,
that.
no,
Some
You
people
always
did.
used to say,
you
I
drank
drank
the fucking
No, I done it
curry
once.
liquid?
I done the curry liquid once, and I never done it again.
Oh.
And I always got told that you drink curry liquid.
yeah, because
I actually only done it once,
there was
and
two
every time
flavors.
like, you did curry liquid for the past like 4 years later, and I was like, I've only done it once in my life, mate.
There was two flavors, and one was chicken, and one was curry. And
one was masala. Everybody said
I
it
like
was the curry
masala.
noodles,
It
but
was
it was the
masala.
masala noodles.
I think
and
it was.
everyone
Well,
said it was
when we
curry.
found out what brand of noodles it was, you
Coca. Coca.
Coca.
Coca noodles.
There's some in the
It's-
fucking.
Oh yeah.
But basically we discovered that the curry wasn't actually the curry, and it was the masala.
Yeah.
And
Which is still curry.
because there is
but
also
yeah.
a curry
It's still a
flavor,
curry, aye.
which isn't the flavor. But there was basically two flavors, which we were told that one was chicken and one was curry. And the chicken was kind of just like chicken stock with
didn't like
noodles,
Aye.
which was like it wasn't.
okay.
It wasn't like it was just kind of salty.
Oh, it was good.
It
Kinda
was okay. It was
salty.
okay. You
Last
loved
one.
it.
And the
for me.
curry,
one
the
I
curry
loved.
was kind of salty, but
like the
also
curry one.
spicy.
I like the curry.
Like, and so it was kind of like you're just drinking salty, spicy liquid.
Yeah, that's what it was like.
But most people, what you do is you would take the wee like plastic lid off your paper cup slightly,
Washing up
and
liquid.
put the fork at the end
It was a
so that you
sausage
could
roll.
drain out the
It
liquid.
was pure boiling, but wasn't it?
Sometimes you had shot. You,
Well, because the thing
you
was
used to have that
the
on noodles as
liquid
well,
was
but
so hot that you couldn't. By the time if you left all the liquid in it, you couldn't have eaten it by the time you got to school because the
Aye.
noodles wouldn't have cooled off. And
Aye,
things.
exactly.
So there was a real technique.
He
to
had
it.
an old kettle, but it must have been fucking 1,000,000 degrees. That's like.
I think they just had a big massive pot just starting. And
No,
it
they
was
had
just
that
filled
kettle.
up.
There was definitely
Was
a
that-
kettle.
It was a kettle he used. It
See
had
the
a big
kettle
white-
in the back.
It was one of them ones my
Pour the
nana
water.
used to have, man. They fucking
Do you know,
burn the toast
I
on.
went recently, not recently, but like last year or something. I went there and they've now got sliced rolls.
really.
You
Um,
went there recently.
Like last year or something, yeah.
Is Davey
I've
still there?
not
by
been
the
there
way?
since school.
I mean, they've changed the fucking aisles and or not the aisles, but like the shelves.
Is it
right,
still
yeah.
there?
Turned into a mini.
It's still there.
Is Davey
Oh,
still
well,
there? But
well,
is Davey still there?
it is. I don't know. When I went in, it was just like who I think was his
Brenda?
daughter and his
Oh.
wife.
Yeah, he's quite old now. I think.
Big Angie.
Oh, right. Okay.
Ange
I
I
Postecoglou.
think it's
Davey-
Davey.
Davey
Davey used to work.
Brenda,
See a lot.
yeah.
See, shop along from my nana's house, literally
Yeah,
right
yeah.
around the. Like he used to work there, and then obviously he moved there.
Mm.
No wonder about money scheme there.
We're nearly.
Aye,
at
I
half
think that's what
past.
I was
I think
Aye,
we
we've
should
talked about it.
wrap up.
Yeah,
'Cause,
that's a
we
good
have been
idea.
talking for a bit of time, and Jack
That was an
has
interesting
an
one.
important game of
Half
pool
an
with
hour.
his dad.
Aye, I've actually like.
And brought
Bit
up.
of game of pool, actually.
Another 6, man. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Oh well, we're still wrapping up here.
Well,
We're fucking doing so abrupt to the end.
How do we wrap up?
No,
That is the wrapping
That
up.
literally
Nah,
was
that's
about
the
to do
wrap
until he
up.
interrupted.
I think it was too sudden.
What? That's.
Okay, guys.
Right, okay, see you later. No.
I just like black screen. Like,
But I don't think we were ready for it. He took us by surprise there.
that's
That
the
would be
whole
a
point.
good black screen. That would be a good
Aye.
ending
Nah,
one
we'll
day.
see.
One day.
Fuck off,
Aye.
We'll see you later, guys.
Die.
Like
Fuck
and
off,
subscribe.
you
Hope you enjoyed
cunts.
it. If you made it this far,
you
thanks.
cunt.
Leave a comment in some unrelated topic,
Fuck
or
you.
maybe or maybe a related
you.
topic.
Listen,
You know.
Just you in particular. Fuck you.
Fuck
Right,
you.
bye-bye.
You know who I'm talking to.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, we've ended
I'm
it
only
there.
joking. I didn't. I love you all.
It's a done.
Bye.
Wait, can I get? Come on.
We're still going, man.
I need a piss so bad.
Hey, no,